Hello, everybody. So I'm going to preface some things to start with because it's kind of sort of important stuff. So firstly, welcome to mostly going to be milk outside of a bag of milk outside of a bag of milk, but there's a prelude, which I ended up finding out after the fact that I was like, oh, I really want to play this game. It's about 4 hours long. And then I found out that there was like an episode before it, which is milk inside a bag of milk. So we're going to go play that first because it's only like, apparently it's very linear and it's about 20 minutes long. It's very short. But it sort of like establishes more of a story for the next game. And also it's heavily based in like mental health sort of themes. Like especially to do with like anxiety-inducing sort of visuals and sounds and stuff. I had to preface that because apparently it can like affect people who are easily anxious. And there's also flashing lights as well. They have a lot of flashing visuals. It's very sort of experiential. So yeah, you are milking this. I have to preface everything because of YouTube rules. But yeah, just letting you guys know in case anybody has any problems and issues. And yeah, I'll probably end up doing this a little bit later as well when we move on to the next game. So yeah, welcome to, this is milk inside a bag of milk. So it is about a story about a girl who is going to go and buy some milk. So there's two versions. The original version of English is not very well translated apparently, because I think the original is in Japanese, but they made improvements later on, so we're going to move on to this one. Let me know if the sounds needed. Help me buy some milk. Okay. Write down your name. Yuki's my name. I walk down the road to the store and rehearse my speech. It's been so long since I've been out of the house that I've completely forgotten what words to say when entering a store. Okay. I was reading some reviews of this, and they said it's related to like social anxiety especially, but also a lot of neurodivergent people have related to this, so it's already sort of being relatable to me. I'm going to the store. Who are you talking to? Shut up and go already. Who are you talking to? Okay. I'm imagining as if I were a character in a game. What if it helps me gather my thoughts? What game? Well, you know. There are games where you can see characters' thoughts right on the screen, you know? So I thought if someone was reading my mind, I need to be very focused so I don't blurt out too much. Oh my god, yes, it's already relatable to me. I have to be very careful about the words I say. Take a deep breath of air. But don't make me... Hello, can I... Crap, I forgot. Oh my god. 19th attempt. And I'm failing again. I bite my lip in frustration. So once again, hello, can I get... Wow. That's a whole word more. Thank you. I'm trying my best. I think it's time that I... Is that supposed to be an I? The I sound was longer than usual. Do you think that's it? Who knows? Hello, can I wish I hadn't said anything. Oh my god, am I the intrusive thought or something? Because this is horrible to say, don't worry. Okay. By the way, you've been walking with your left foot on the pavement and your right foot on the grass for a full minute now. I do that. Like going up, down, up, down, up, down on the curb. What? My right foot is frozen in the air. How much? 50 steps on the pavement and 51 on the grass. Oh, you count steps, yeah. You have to undo the previous step. How do you imagine that? It's not the first time this has happened. This is like very severe, sort of like leading to like OCD type things. Like you're being very careful about making sure that your steps are even. Yeah. I can see how, especially if you've got like kind of like my anxiety is nowhere near as this bad, but you get people who like, in order to cope with feeling sort of overwhelmed by the world, they try and take control of it. Yeah. You've been taught the right way, haven't you? Come on. You're so stupid. This is definitely intrusive thoughts. I don't remember. I'm ready to burst into tears. Oh, here we go again. Oh no. So, step 1, take a step back to get your foot exactly in your own footprint. I do that. Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean, step 1? What then? It's already 52nd. Oh wait. I'm going backwards, so it's the 50th? It doesn't add up. Okay. Step 50. Take a step back to get your foot exactly in your own footprint. Could you rephrase it? It's just a little bit... You can't just repeat a phrase without changing at least one word. People don't talk like that. You're hopeless. You make it sound like it's my fault. The store closes in an hour, so... You will be very, very guilty if you don't buy milk. Damn, really? Well, are you ready? Hell yes. Carefully move my foot backwards, looking carefully into the dense grass. Okay. As I enter the store, I turn to the first person I see. Hello, can I... Oh. Okay. That's like a sort of a strange sort of vibe there, because it's like, it looks like kind of like a person, but not really. Oh. Excuse me, what? Oh. Excuse me, what? Oh. Excuse me, what? Oh. Excuse me, what? Oh my god, I'm stuck. Excuse me, what? Oh, it's getting louder. He shouldn't have done that. He's obviously not going to change his lines. You run risk of ending up in an endless loop. Oh god, yeah, I already felt like that. Excuse me, what? Oh no, not again. Oh. Excuse me, what? Oh, what do I do? Excuse me, what? Oh. Excuse me, what? That's getting louder. Oh. Excuse me, what? Whispering. Oh. What? Oh. What's he trying to tell you? What the heck is happening here? I'm getting caught in a loop of thinking, or at least speaking to somebody. He's trying to scare me, but how does he know that I'm terrified of the letter O? So, what's so scary about it? I have a frightening image that I picture in my head. I can show you. Explaining won't be enough. Oh god, I didn't read the rest of that. Oh, okay, I can see. Oh, yes, I can see why you don't like the letter O now. Okay. Something like that. Yeah, that's a lot more relatable now. So I'll just continue to ignore his question. What? Oh. What? Oh. What? Oh. I gather all my will into a fist. Oh. Oh? Got an achievement called My interlocutor? My interlocutor shook and crawled away. You just repeated after him. And it worked. Do it once more often. Wait, I said he crawled away? He did really crawl away? I mean, I didn't even look in his direction. Like, having interactions with people. Like, I'm assuming this is sort of in her head, but like, worried about you don't really know how to respond to certain people. What exactly did you say? When did you exactly say that? Just now. Personally, I didn't hear it. You're just trying to distract me. I know that my words were shown on the screen. I'm standing by the shelves on the rack where there are bags of milk. We both stand, and the milk lies, or maybe... Hey, slow down. Do you even remember why you're here? To buy milk. That is the ultimate goal. We're trying to buy milk. So buy it. Right here? What do you expect me to say? I guess something like, not here? Not here. Take the bag and go to the cash register. Well, yeah, that's what we're here for. Like, I need to, like, I'm like the self-motivation of overcoming my own anxieties, I think. Okay. I guess the first sentence. And you, as if out of spite, didn't pause before the second one. You want to rob me of my little victories. Yeah, it's very relatable. The fact that I do the same thing as well. Like, every time I have overcome something, I always think like, well, I should have been able to do it in the first place. Rather than going, right, yeah, I actually have overcame something. So this is like a game that's calling me out. Great. I sigh and reach out to take the milk, or rather a bag with milk inside. Or rather a bag of milk inside a bag. Or rather a bag of milk inside a bag of milk. Or rather a bag of milk inside a bag of milk inside a bag. Or rather a bag of milk inside a bag inside. Come on, yeah, it's looping in your head, yeah. 15 minutes before the store closes, hurry up. I remembered what these games are called, visual novels. And by the way, the numbers are written there in full with letters are visual novels worse than books. But the authors are not lazy, so don't get lazy either. Wait, I thought your thoughts were visible on the screen. Not anymore, so watch your mouth. Oh great, so I'm sort of out of the loop now. In my own head. Amen. Anyway, you heard me. Hurry up, or you'll get it at home again. Get at home again? I'm on my way. Okay. We're making progress, apparently. Hey, look, can I get some milk, please? I love these visuals. It really, like how chaotic, like, your perception is. Oh god, yep. With creepy eyes. You have it. Ah. Give. Put a weighty bag on the register. Of course, not just the bag, but the milk too. Hi, can I have it, please? No. Please? No. But please, Mum will throw me out of the window if I get back without milk. No. But why not? Give more. I don't have anything else. Hey. What? They hate you. You're pathetic. Pay for the milk. Oh my god. These inner thoughts are horrible. Okay, try and just pay for the milk. Ah, really? What would I do without you? Take a crumpled bill out of the pocket and hand it to the cashier. He starts to carefully examine it. It took about 2 days before he nodded contentedly and put it in the cash register. Thank you. Goodbye. I walk down a familiar street past a gas station. A bag of milk unpleasantly tugs at my hand, reminding me that the days when I was in physical therapy. By the way, they gave me a bag at the checkout, so now I'm carrying a bag of milk in another bag. Don't think anything of it. I just love the pyramidical structure of verbal constructions. Yeah. The gas station is getting closer. I can see that it's slowly moving. How are you feeling? That's one thing I never really do. That I really should. Sort of check in on my own feelings before I carried away with them. Thank you for your interest. I feel like a mile-long bar of ice cream. It's a very interesting way to put it. What is that supposed to mean? As if I tell you. I am really interested. You're just a weirdo. I am really interested. I like analogies. Well, look, the ratio of water to milk in the volume of the air occupied by me is about 30 to 1. You calculated that, that's very interesting. And yeah, ice cream is not the best, unless you want to drink more than you eat. Anyway, the road from the store to the gas station is a stick, and the road from the gas station to home is ice cream. Okay. Sort of like visualizing how long it's going to take you to go somewhere because you're like overwhelmed by being outside. During today's walk, my body has been to every part of this path. Simple math. See. I feel movement under my feet, asphalt grains, petrol stains. I'm trying to keep my balance. And how do people move over something that is as uneven as a city plane? Gently heel-toe. I count in my mind every meter of the path I walk. I even close my eyes for more concentration. Hey, watch out. Ah! I unconsciously take a sharp step to the side. At the same moment, a huge bear rushes past me in a wild screech. Oh my god, where the hell do you live? Hey, I'm walking here. I cast a reproachable glance at the swiftly departing giant. Like, is she imagining that a bear was going past her, or is she like see a creature and then imagine it talking to her? Its red eyes in turn look at me with mockery. Did you see that? How brazen. Oh right, she's like visualizing a person as like a scary creature. That makes sense. So there's a big guy who walks past her and says that. But she's actually visualizing it as a scary creature, yeah. Okay. It was a truck? Oh, right, okay. It was a truck, not a person. Oh, really? Although, if you think about it, are there bears with eyes on the back of their heads? Yeah, that's I guess, like, questioning the fact that why did I visualize it as a bear? Because it doesn't make sense. Using both metric system and imperial because its system is confusing to the highest level. Yeah, British people do that. You could have died. Come on, are you saying someone would have seriously want to kill an innocent girl carrying a bag of milk? The world is a cruel and dangerous place. You're sick. Like, I would instinctively go with this one. I'm not in the world that you're talking about. Guess it is all about perspective. Okay, got a cross in here. My journey continues. The bear's named Big Daddy. That's what the name of the truck was. If you think about it, the road from the store has one interesting property. It adjusts to me in the most bizarre ways. When I'm in a hurry, all the traffic lights turn off helpfully. When I feel like I'm crying, a cloud appears over me and pause rain streams down that hides my tears. Okay. Right now I can feel a cloud slowly gathering on the top of my head. I'm sad. Are you sure this is really happening? What else could it be? Like a very active imagination while also having sort of like anxieties. Like my kids have like anxiety. They've always been anxious ever since they were little. So this is kind of relatable to them, really, because they're quite highly active imaginations too. Has it ever occurred to you that it's just all in your head? Well, yeah, of course it's all in your head. Like that's the problem. You need to let it out. That's not what the manual said at all. I wish there was a manual. Apparently, these pills don't work for me either. Or I should take your medication that doesn't work. Okay. The pills have nothing to do with it. No, like, that would explain things. You know what? But since I'm a character in a visual novel, I want to talk to whoever is reading this right now. Oh, that's why I put my name in. Say so. It could hurt your recovery. I don't think it could. Like, speaking sort of like having like self-reflection and being able to talk to yourself in a sort of like a second person perspective, I guess. Like, it is probably useful because it helps you actually overcome certain situations. I forcefully squeeze my head with my hands and place a fort block. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a small bench, the perfect place for clinched visual novel monologues. I move closer, a place noticeably weighted. Noticeably weighted bag of milk next to it, and I raise my head to the sky. Clouds. Okay, so it's all in your head, but you need to let it out. The story instructions not clear. Listen. I'm a little embarrassed, haha. I realised I'm going crazy. The medication's becoming less and less effective, so ultimately things will happen painlessly, I hope. Do you know what I'm talking about? No. Well, I'm not really surprised. But nothing like the model protagonist at all. Huh. Well, no one is. To be honest, I haven't read many visual novels. Sometimes I regret it because now it costs me a lot of effort just to distinguish between the letters and the words. Like, especially when you're like stuck in your own head, you get this like overwhelming sensation like everything is against you, not realizing that you kind of have to learn that it isn't. The learning curve for that is, especially when you're young and anxious, and nobody teaches you anything how to handle your anxiety when you're young. It is difficult when it gets to a certain point where you're an adult and you still haven't learned that coming up with scenarios in your own head and not telling anybody about it, and then you get people saying things like, oh well, you're a weirdo. Yeah, this is a lot of brain work. By the way, if you don't mind, I'd rather not name my diagnoses as let at least you be one who sees me for who I am. Yeah. Even though I made you up, don't take that away from me, okay? Well, you are more than your diagnoses. Don't ask me for too much. How stupid does it all seem? From the very beginning, you've been following me, reading my delusional thoughts, hearing my silly conversations, like being inside your own head, and having a person there actually actively reading your thoughts. That's sort of like a weird sort of thought experiment. I must seem crazy or weird to you. I don't think so. I'm not that judgmental, so. Aha. Is it like to see the world through your eyes? What is it like to see the world through my eyes? Kind of, especially chaotic, especially to do with like the visuals around people. Like looking at people and seeing kind of monstrous sort of creatures that you can't really distinguish. Yeah. Ever since something happened, all I see is red. Red blood everywhere. No, don't worry about me. I got used to it a long time ago. Admittedly, I'd even forgotten what other colours look like. It's a perspective that you can't escape from, I guess. Come on. Those monsters from the store, they didn't scare me at all. After all, I know they won't hurt me. Seeing people is scary, I totally understand that. Sometimes I think they themselves are afraid of me. Can you imagine that? But by the way, if you want to ask me what happened, please don't. Promise? Oh. Promise. I'm serious. Of course you couldn't help, but ask. Oh, am I supposed to say yes or no? Oops. I just put promise. Okay. In the end, I'm just talking to myself. Sooner or later, I would have brought it up. So you're really that interested in what happened to me? I'm always interested in people. I want to make sure they're okay. What am I looking at there? Kind of really hard to tell sometimes. Like, I guess this is still her walking. So is this supposed to be like the pink here is a path? It's really hard to tell, like, maybe because she's still sat on the bench, I think. I don't waste time. What do you see? Not It's really hard to tell. I see red. Anyway. This is my dad. Oh. Okay. You see guts. Okay. It must be like having, like, this is a really good visual sort of way of explaining, like, how when you have so much going on in your own head that everything around you is just kind of a blur. And it's hard to focus on anything but what you have in your own head. So the outside world just looks indistinguishable. Some parts of his, at least. We do have a very difficult family. But despite all the problems, I never would have thought... Sorry, I shouldn't have raised my voice. One of my kids does this. She apologises for things that that don't need apologising for. She does it quite often. We're trying to, like, reassure her that she doesn't need to do it, but it's an anxiety thing. You see onion rings and pickles. Bugger. Anyway, he jumped out of the window and died. Oh, poor lass. Having to deal with that. Okay, this is my last memory. In a long... Yeah, no wonder your brain doesn't want to see it. Yeah. Then a long gap. Strange, very strange. Today is the first time I've ever been able to buy something in the store without a major incident. That is huge. You should be really proud of yourself. Of course, the medicine helped me, however. I think it's more your merit. Yeah, she's talking to herself here, so she's not talking to me. I kept thinking, we mustn't screw it up in the... There! We mustn't screw up in front of the reader. Or, oh my god, what will he think, haha. I don't know why I decided to become a visual novel character for the sake of going to the store today, but it clearly paid off. Well, yeah, separating, like, when you're really stressed out about a particular task, switching your perspective on things really does help. Like, making it into a game, so that you're focusing more on the game than the thing that you're doing. Yeah, I do that with my kids, because that does help. Thank you. By the way, it seems to me that there are some boundaries in our communication. That's how I like it, haha. Yeah, you have to have your own principles and stick to them. And yet, I've been so sad lately. I've been thinking more and more about what my life has become ever since my dad. Well, you know. Day after day, it's the same thing. I tried so many medications, I hardly feel like any difference between them anymore. They're just not the right medication for you. As long as they help keep me on my feet, I'm happy. But you know what? Today is a special day because I have you. There's so much I want to... I was reading that. That was very rude of you. I was reading that. Oh no. I'm not going to pressure you, I'm just advising you to go home. I understand. Well, dear reader, shall we go? Okay. When I get to my floor, hang over the railing. Oh, don't do that. No, 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 no. We don't do that. I'm so terrified of heights as well. That just instantly just makes me feel vertigo. Repeating this action every day like a ritual. I stopped being afraid of heights altogether. I never. Don't do that. The sound of the wind's not helping as well. A few minutes ago, the effects of the medication finally wore off, and I just enjoy this blissful silence. When I'm under the influence of drugs, terrible and unpleasant melodies sound in my head, mixing the sounds of the world around me. They create a terrible dissonance in my head. So like when I was on medication, it kind of just all it really did was sort of just numb me to things. Like I still felt emotions, but they felt muted. So even like all my because I was incredibly like sad and things like that. So the sadness was muted, but also like all the happy moments I had were muted too. And when I came off everything felt really loud, like emotionally loud. Yeah. Turn around and go back to my apartment. Yes, good. Go back inside, please. Oh god. Oh, don't do that. Hi. Hello. Did you bring... Oh, this is Mum. Did you bring the milk? Hi, Mum. Did you bring the milk? Yes, Mum. Did your new medicine help? Yes, Mum. Go to bed. Oh, that's so intimidating. Yes, Mum. Milk bot. Okay. Let me buy some milk. I think this is the beginning of the game. Yeah, it's the beginning of the game again. Okay, so that was sort of like the prelude to the next game. But yeah, chill lady. Yeah, exactly. It's very, no, Mum. Can you back up just 5 steps, please? I need my personal bubble. Thank you. But yeah, okay, so we're gonna move on to the next one. That's sort of like the introduction to it. Yeah, that was really good. I liked that. Like, it's very short, but like that's why I'm assuming that's why they made this second episode. But yeah, they're definitely interesting. Yeah, it's very short. It's sort of just it was. I'm assuming it because it's a indie developer. They've only ever made these 2 games, as far as I can tell. So a lot of like effort went into this type of story. So I'm assuming this first one was just like a little project that they wanted to make, and then it got popular, and then they were like, okay, we'll make another one that was a bit more expansive. Because the next one is about a few hours long, and I've been told it has multiple endings, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all of them. But we'll see. So let's set that one up, shall we? So we'll get rid of this. Okay. And this one now. I'll have to change like this perspective and stuff on it because the resolution is really odd on these. Okay. Happy? Happy, happy. Everybody happy? Okay. Oh, it's not finding it. Hang on. Let me do properties. Trying to get the OBS to find it. There we go. Okay. Make it slightly bigger so everybody can see. Okay. So this is a continuation. So the first one was milk inside a bag of milk, and this one's milk outside of a bag of milk. So I named the stream after this because this one's slightly longer, but it's quite a pickle indeed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, again, so this one has flashing images and stuff like that and heavy topics. Yep, that's the same as the first one. Ooh. We have animation. 45, 46, 47, 48, 48. Just count the steps again. 51. Oh, going to the store again. The store is closing soon. Oh, it's way more brighter. The bloom on it as well. Okay. Milk. I don't know what that said. It was like flashed then. Okay. She's buying it again. I'm assuming that this is sort of like she spent time going to the shop and learning to overcome it, because like she seems to be doing it by herself. It won't take much time. What do you see? Are you sure? Beautiful visuals. Anyway, there's... Going back home? Some milk isn't refrigerated. It comes in cardboard boxes. My dad buys cardboard box milk. Yes, Mum. Oh, God. Oh, the anxiety of seeing your mum again. Okay. Yeah, then. At least the art and the visuals are better. Yeah. Oh. I'm walking to my room, trying not to look around. Playful shadows dance around here and there. They dash over the walls and ceiling. Oh, I've had that. Like when my eyes is playing tricks on me. One of the shadows whizzes past me and touches my face ever so slightly. I've never had that, no. I smile and continue walking, paying it no mind. Like having a severe anxiety attack, sounds like it. Sometimes it's so easy to lose self-control and track of time, spinning in a joyful dance. But I'm in a bit of a hurry here. Mum told me to go to bed. Oh God, it seems so far away. I walk past the kitchen on the way to my room. The door is shut, and I can still feel the chilling air coming from the other side. My first thought is that there's a living corpse blowing into the keyhole, laughing mockingly. Like, I don't know if that it's partly active imagination, but also like the irrational stuff that your mind will come up with when you're having like a fearful experience. That's so silly. I'm absolutely sure we have no corpses in our kitchen. I know for sure that we never had any corpses in our kitchen. I'm absolutely sure of that. You have to reassure yourself. Oh. I run into the bedroom. I break into a run and dash towards a closed door. The shadows intensify their chaotic dance. They are trying to stop me or calm me down. I don't know. It doesn't matter right now. Don't you get it? I wave my hands around as I run, trying to chase away any annoying pursuers, but I suddenly realise that I'm not able to stop in time. I've got no other choice but to break down the door now. I have full panic. If there's somebody inside, I surely scare them to death. But wait, how can I scare to death somebody who's already dead? What if that actually revives them? No. I don't want that. What do I do now? I think she's talking about her dad. I couldn't complete my thought when my shoulder hit the door and it flew open. There's definitely a corpse on that side. Oh god. That's the visual that I picked on from Google. As I expected, there was no living corpse inside. But there was a bag of milk I bought today sitting right in the middle of the table, watching me with its unblinking eyes. I stare back. Nothing happens. Although, what exactly do I expect? Gratitude? What if I'd done something that warranted it? A bag of milk probably doesn't care whether it's on the shelf in the store or on the table in Mum's kitchen. On the other hand, nobody would drink the milk inside the store, which means I took it from the safest place in the world into the scary unknown. I'm so sorry, you poor thing. I'm overthinking things there, darling. Turn away in shame and leave the room in a hurry. I only bring others trouble. Aww. I walk towards my room through a narrow corridor. Oh no, Mum. Hi, Mum. I meet a familiar formless creature at the door. God, it locks me in its clutches and starts sniffing every inch of my body like a hungry dog. Sound. A milk murderer. I'm not struggling, I know that it's useless. I just stay silent and enjoy its tight grip that stops me from moving. Ah, God. After sniffing me from head to toe, the creature holds out its ugly paws, barring a single claw, thin and sharp like a blade. Again. I stare questioningly at the monster's bottomless eye sockets. Don't move. The creature squeezes my hands until my veins start bulging, and I just keep staring into the black cavities where its eyes should be, ignoring all pain. I promised so many times, stay put. The moment it says that, its claw pierces my arm. I don't feel anything other than the barely indiscernible crawling under my skin, like the ring of tightly sprung sinews. Ugh. And then the claw injects its venom into me. It hurts. A white veil appears in front of my eyes. My fingers cramp and I start twitching frantically. I lose control over my body and slowly slide to the floor, just like last time. But why do I feel so hot? I feel my blood boiling up. Strong shivers run through my body, paralyzing every single cell. My veins and arteries heat up, almost bursting from the pressure. I try screaming, but instead of producing words, I vomit thick, milky foam. The creature notices it and throws itself at me in anger, grabbing me by the throat while keeping poisonous claw inside my arm. Kill me. Hysterical screams resound through the corridor. In a fit of madness, the creature starts scratching never drink milk ever again. I say it. God. I'll never drink milk ever again. Say it again. Oh my God. Never drink milk ever again. I'll never drink milk ever again. It's because she had it in her room. And Mum went crazy. Oof. Oh, that was intense. I finally get to my room. I'm so tired of all this fuss. Thankfully, I still feel comfy and warm in my room. Even the weird sounds coming from outside don't make me anxious at all. Not after that. Probably kind of soothing at this point. Mum told me to go to bed. I need to perform all the needed preparations. I've washed my face and I'm standing in front of the mirror with a toothbrush in my mouth. I look at my reflection. It shows absolute no desire to sleep. Yeah, I get how you feel. Yeah, I totally understand that. Oh, that's weird sounds in my ear. And there was a time when the last minutes before I sleep were my favourite time of the day. I loved anticipating the inevitable moment when reality and dream world would clash. I woke up that moment's sake, lived through the day of it. The biggest dream was sleep all day long. It would have been so cool, but the dreams always slowly but surely slipped away. As if somebody finished them out of my head, one after another, until nothing was left. And now I have to sleep again, even though I don't feel any need for it. That sounds like depression. Alcohol, the pills. After finishing washing my face, I usually reach for my pills. It's funny, but I have no idea how they work separately, since I always swallow them in a bunch without thinking. Now I want to have a better look at it, twirl it between my fingers and chew on it. I do anything to stall just a little bit more time, especially if you're not a big fan of taking pills as well, and also you don't like the fact that how they make you feel. A smooth protruding red capsule is looking at me. It's covered in murky, semi-transparent film, but I can still discern its contents. So what do you have inside you? Gently press the capsule on both sides, and to my surprise it turns out to be soft and squishy. That's a bit like ibuprofen. I press harder and the capsule pops. Sticky bright liquid pours out. Filthy. Pill flies straight into the waste bin, and I start rigorously washing my hands. Definitely OCD. No, there's no way I'm drinking that. Next was a flat pill, the same blood red colour. There was some letters printed on it. Oh, I get it. This is the medicine that makes you feel really sleepy. But it's not the type of sleep that I want. It's not like that at all. It's fake. No. I don't even want to look at it. The pill flies into the waste bin as well. Oh, she's stopping taking her medication. The next half hour goes by in a similar fashion. I study every pill from all sides and I find no reason to swallow it. I invent my own medicine instead and enjoy swallowing them one after another, letting myself drown in the healing effects. Hey, my neck doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my hand doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my head doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my heart doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my stomach doesn't hurt anymore. Hey, my eyes don't hurt anymore. Yeah, 'cause all the side effects of the pills. How come I didn't think of this earlier? It's so simple. I need to brag about this to someone right away. Oh no. I should really continue taking it, even with the side effects. But it's not my mum. She'll just scold me, yeah. And she's sure I'm already sleeping anyway. I don't want to disturb her without reason. I'll think of something else. Something myself. Besides, I really want some small talk. I wonder who's going to be my conversation partner. Hey. Oh, is it me again? Hey, yeah, definitely. Hi. Ooh. Hey, long time no see. Definitely talking to me. The knee pain, yes. It hasn't been an hour, dummy. You'll know you're only supposed to meet up once per day, right? Right, she's like giving herself self-limits about like having a self-reflection talk, I guess. Okay, well, this one. There you go, bully me again. Aren't you even a little bit happy? Not even the slightest bit? I mean to insult you, I'm just letting you know I played your first game less than an hour ago. Pretty exhausted after today. Well, I guess you are too. Well, yeah, she would be after dealing with that mother of hers. That's not true. You need to go to bed. No. You've been in control for way too long already. Now it's my turn. Alright? Just stay silent until the medicine's effects wear off. How about that? Hey, you can't do that. You need to do your best to make me feel better. God. But she's talking to herself here, so like it's just telling herself like, how dare you treat me this way? You're supposed to make me feel better. This is, oh god, I hate this. It's calling me out as somebody who has a lot of negative self-talk. It's definitely calling me out here. She doesn't want to take her medicine. I know somebody who wouldn't mind taking those awful pills off her hand. Oh god. Well, there's plenty of people who would. Exactly what I'm doing. What a bully. I'm bullying myself. Actually, why am I even worried about this? In reality, I don't need you at all. So energetic and I feel great, which means I can do anything, and you can only watch and agonize over my uselessness. Every time you're having a good time and that voice in your head keeps coming in telling you how useless you are, and she's calling it out. Like, I'm having a great time and you're just sat there just complaining. And she's talking to O'Brien. I can imagine how angry you are right now. Yeah, I'm all beside myself. What made you so happy all of a sudden? Well, she stopped taking her medication. And why would I be sad? Remember yourself a couple of hours ago? I don't know what you mean. Stop lying, stop lying, stop lying. Still don't understand. Whatever. Unlike you, I won't forget that. Pathetic, snotty girl from a long time. She just whines and whines all the time. Now I am the negative, definitely the... Oh god. The idea of saying this to somebody else is like heartbreaking to me, but I do this to myself all the time, so the game is definitely calling me out. Don't even try ruining my mood. I want to have fun while we're together, alright? So you're the one calling the shots now? Yep. Well, let's see how long you last. We'll see, yeah. I'm really that pathetic? Say something. I can feel tears streaming down my cheeks, hanging from my chin, and then falling onto my clothes, burning holes in them. That was fast, but not unexpected. Yeah, at least I tried. Go wash your face, and then we'll decide what to do with you. Somebody say this is sick. Oh no, I like... This is very reflective. So it's like trying to communicate with yourself in a way that is like treating yourself like a person. Like it's actually kind of like an interesting way of dealing with yourself. It's like it's kind of obvious, but at the same time it's just a lot of things that people just don't seem to do. It's because you don't really think about treating yourself like a person when you have issues. I'm in front of the mirror again. I keep staring at my reflection, trying not to get distracted by the sneery looks on the walls are giving me, trying not to drown in their giggling. But then, me in the mirror also shows me a creepy smile. There's her teeth at me. I like how her reflection is all in colour, but her actual self is like darkness and kind of distorted. Well, like not being able to see yourself properly. I shut my eyes, but it doesn't help. It wouldn't have helped even if I sunk through the floor. I sat counting in my mind, 2 squared by 2 squared by a square squared, a square pyramid squared, a pyramidal structure cubed, pyramidal structure hypercubed. Oh well, that's an interesting, I guess it's sort of like you're trying to form a structure in your mind. Just to keep your mind occupied, distracting yourself. I feel better. Yeah. Giving yourself a task in your own head without, so you can disconnect from your feelings. But my head is splitting apart now. Sorry for being rude. I'm talking to myself. Being rude. Not your fault. It's never your fault. Fine. You can keep on blaming yourself, but don't overdo it. I don't know why, but I thought I was able to take control. I was almost ready too. I was sure I was able to change something. After all, I'm able to buy milk, you know. Exactly. You're doing a good task, but you're moving too fast. Yeah, you ought to know how challenging it was. Back to the pills. You're actually going to take them now. Is this why you threw away the medicine? What a stupid decision, right? Undoubtedly. Whatever it was your decision. That is actually important. Does it even matter? What do you think? Yeah, what do you think? You can't be sure of anything. And you don't take me seriously anyway. Then why did you do that? I felt like I was able to fight it on my own. Yeah, I've had the same feeling before. It's true. The pain subsided a bit at that time, but now I feel it in triple in force. Yeah, it just gets worse. You might feel a little bit better because you're not feeling the side effects, but then the thing that the medication is supposed to stop comes back. Yeah. All these circles make a square. All these circles make a square. It hurts so bad. Just drink your medicine already, or I'll stop talking to you. But that's what she kind of wants, though. You know what to do. Yeah, you need to be a bit more forceful with yourself. Dejected. I reach out to the shelf with my medicine. I swallow the pills one after another, chasing away the unpleasant visions that keep floating in my memory. And yet my mind still draws terrifying picture. Lumps of coagulated blood in transparent coating travelling down my esophagus, scratching its soft walls, leaving behind furrows. Oh my god, dude. Don't overthink it. Shake my head violently. I don't care if it makes me dizzy or worsens my pain. I just don't want to think of something so repulsive. Still haven't changed. What do you mean? You're afraid of being alone. This worries you so much more than the pain. You like massive, like sort of like because of what happened with her dad. She's like not just like she's afraid of being alone, so she puts up with her mum, I guess, and her mum is obviously going through her own issues as well. But yeah, like having a parent do that to you, you would feel like you're being abandoned. Yeah, I guess. Toss the last pill in the air and catch it in my mouth. The visuals are so much better in this game. And she can't sleep. Lie on the floor, look at the ceiling, and I can clearly hear water running through the metal pipes up there. I hear the cracking of the concrete blocks that will someday surely fall on my head. I've done that. Listening to the building and then realizing like you can actually hear like how the building is moving and stuff. It's a bit unsettling. But I'm not afraid of that at all. I can imagine my death coming from above. Oh, imagine the building just collapsing on top of her. Rather, it's rearing its claws from somewhere below, waiting for me to lose focus. Oh. Do you want to talk about it? No, I've had enough talking. Okay. What do you want then? I just want to lie down for a bit. Okay. Twiddling my thumbs here. Even if the ceiling is bound to collapse, it will be today. I don't know if I should just, I guess, if I feel like I should say something, because it's like, obviously she's just sat there thinking about inevitable death. Or should I just let her think about it? Yeah. Can you say silent, please? No. My head is never quiet, so I need to get my thoughts in order. Yeah, but I am thoughts, so... Oh, that's a neat... Oh, it's because she's laying down. Like an interest... the perspective of it. Yeah. I carefully extract my thoughts and yet not to be fully formed in my head. I lay them out on the ceiling, orderly. Now it's my corkboard. Huh. See, I've done this sort of thing before, but it's more when my head is like super busy and I have like especially when I have lots of plans coming up, I do a similar thing where I look at the ceiling and I have like a murder board on the ceiling of all the plans that I have to do and how they're connected and who I'm gonna do them with. It helps me organize like what I've got coming up. And but she's obviously doing it with just how she's just thinking. I tend to do it with plans. Yeah, that's such an interesting way of like that. I've never like I just naturally do this myself, so it's nice that someone else does it as well, knowing that someone else does the same thing that I do. In hopes of seeing the whole picture, I switch them from one place to another, pile them on top of each other, scatter them around. In the end, I throw them off of my hand, annoyed, and start over. Can't do it. Yeah, her head's too busy. You can always imagine your thoughts, something like small swarming. Like cockroaches. How does that gonna help? Ew, I hate cockroaches. Can we make them fireflies? I don't mind either way. Yeah, all your thoughts swarming around in your head like that. Yeah. I don't even have the time to blink before my thoughts, the fireflies now, start whirling all over the ceiling at their own accord, forming whimsical patterns, nonsensical patterns. I can only observe them and wait for the right moment. Hold, everybody hold. It's just that moment doesn't come. Yeah, because they're too busy. They're too chaotic. It's not a good sort of visualization to try and control your own thinking. Hold. Just trying though. The mocking sound of the flapping winds coming from the ceiling is making me lose my patience. Yeah. Hi Husky, how you doing? She keeps trying though. Even though she's losing her patience, she keeps the stubbornness is kicking in. Enough, I hate you. Get rid of the fireflies, yeah. It's not a good strategy for trying to organise your thoughts. I spring to my feet and I scream at the top of my lungs. The fireflies scatter. Good job, now we start over. We need something else. It's just not working. I'm doing that and thank you for asking. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well. No way. Unstable behaviour makes you look bad. Oh my god, these intrusive thoughts, man. I don't give a damn. So, that doesn't bother you? Should it? No. No, it shouldn't bother you. A lot of people act like this. Yes. You realise that a lot of people are the same as you. It's just you have a different way of thinking about things. You all think about the same things. It's just you think about it in a slightly different way. Really? There's nothing shameful about snapping at someone if you have a reason for that. Yeah, but if there's a good reason to put some boundaries down, yeah, definitely. Did you have a reason, didn't you? You did have a reason, didn't you? I've read that so badly. You surely get better, believe me. All about being patient with yourself. Now you start over. Yeah, try again. Pretty much like when I'm playing Dark Souls as well. Dark Souls is a really good sort of way of building that perspective of like, yes, you keep failing over and over and over, but eventually you will click, eventually you do get it. It's just about learning. It's about time and patience with yourself and learning, and not letting it bother you. Yeah, Dark Souls helped me a lot mentally as well from playing it. You're at it again. What do you mean? Never mind. And I've changed my mind anyway. Please don't stay silent for this long anymore. Yeah. You have to be in line with yourself inside your head. Having a hard time without your help. Yeah. I think partly because I'm choosing the choices that to be a friend to her rather than be against her and be questioning of all of her actions and stuff. Like learning to be a friend to yourself. I guess it's sort of important. Fine. I raise my eyes to look to the ceiling once more. Sadly, all my fireflies seem to be hiding somewhere. I need to find them. Forget about it and go to bed. No. She can't just go to bed. The whole point, she went to bed last time and then couldn't sleep because she just can't organise her thoughts, so she needs to do it. Glance around the room. There's too many places for a creature so small as a firefly to hide in here. They can be anywhere. That is true. Suddenly I hear a deafening rumble. The clock just hit midnight. It's so late already, but I can't go to bed right now. You know that feeling? Not being able to sleep? Will you help me? Please tell me you will help me. Oh, don't stay silent. Come on, stop bullying me. You promised to talk to me. What were you thinking? What were you thinking while lying on the floor? What do you mean? You should know better than anyone else. That's the thing, I have no idea. This is weird. Like, I know what she was thinking, but she probably just has to explain it. You tell me? Oh god. Okay, that's not what I thought she was thinking. Okay. I roll my sleeves and start rubbing my eyes intensely. They're so itchy. Why are you crying? Your eyes are itchy. Did you drink milk? Did he drink milk? Did you drink milk? Well, her mum accused her of doing it. Let's try this one, because we know that she didn't, so... I wonder if I tear out my eyelashes one after another, will my eyes stop itching? I wonder if I tear out my eyelashes one after another, all my eyelashes, one after another, if I tear out my... She's spiralling, one after another. What have you done? I need to gather the glass, and then I need to have a bath, and then... no, we don't do that, no. Just, here, have some... Here, drink some milk. Just... Yeah. Oh my god. That was intense. I stand in the middle of the room, my mouth agape, gasping for air. I think I just experienced death. I don't know any other way to explain what happened. Sounds like you had a panic attack. In Canada, milk would come in bags, and you'd fill a pitcher with it. Without. I'm not sure if it's still widely practiced these days. As far as I know, the game is Japanese, and there's probably other places that do sell milk in bags. I guess it's just more convenient to have it in a bag than a bottle because it's cheaper to have it in a container like that. So probably easy to freeze too because you can manipulate it. Well, that was surely something. Yeah, panic attacks are crazy. Will you tell me or not? About what? Let's look for fireflies instead. Not dealing with the... Just block out the emotions. Yep. Acting weird. Tell me instead of running your mouth. I've already had enough adventures before bed. Need to gather my thoughts quickly and go to bed. Are my thoughts hiding from me? To be honest, I have no idea where to look for them. Me neither. I guess we'll have to tear the whole place apart. Or organise. One of the things that tidying up tends to help. Even if it's just straightening things up and making everything in order, everything having its place. Makes feel like it's an OCD thing, I guess, but it makes everything feel like if everything has its own space, then everything's in order, and then your thoughts can be in order too. No. If I make even the smallest messes here, I will feel really bad. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that feeling. All these things should be in their places. That's it. She literally just said what I said. Okay. Oh, I've never seen it bag myself. I've seen them, but I don't have it in the UK. But I've definitely seen them. I think it's just because it's easier to keep in like if you freeze it. Why? I don't know why either. I don't know why I like things to be in order. So what happened to the milk bag? I don't know. I'm assuming what happened is she went to the shop and bought some milk, but she didn't put it away. She put it in her room, and then her mum accused her of drinking it. Or she did bring it into her room and she did drink it, but she can't remember. And then her mum is saying, "Why did you drink the milk? And you didn't put it in the kitchen." And but she can't remember doing that. Yeah, either she did it or she didn't. Yeah, it's hard to tell really. Are you trying to come up with a reason right now? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Well, yeah, like liking things in order is not. You don't really need a reason for it. You just like it. I don't, and I won't. That's fine. Alright then. You need to finish a bunch of tiny insects inside a mountain of junk without moving anything, even an inch. Yeah. That's actually a really good way of putting into perspective of how to organize your thoughts. When you're trying to figure out like how to make things in order when you've got so much going on in your head and you can't find the things that you are looking for in your head. Yeah. Imagine forbidding your child from drinking milk. Mum needs to take a break. I think because from what I can gather so far is so they've experienced a death. The father like took his own life, and the mother is suffering as well as the girl. And she's trying her best to she has a very active imagination, and she's sort of like coming to terms with what happened with her dad. She feels like she's abandoned, and it's giving her lots of anxiety, and she's having like OCD and trying to come to terms with like that. But the mum is also, because she's not in her mum's head, her mum is also dealing with it as well, but she seems to be taking her like anger issues out on the child somehow for some reason, and that's just increasing her anxiety and making her see a mum as a monster, and making her see other people out in the world, like down at the shop when she went to go buy milk. Making see they're all distorted as well. My oh my. I have an idea. Last time, becoming a visual novel character helped me achieve my goal. Now I want to become a point-and-click adventure game character. Okay, so we're switching games up now. Okay. You know, those games have moments when I can look at different objects or something. Inevitably happen. That's actually a really clever idea when you're trying to organize your thoughts. Yeah, just look at everything and see what's important. Yeah, it sounds so fun. It is kind of a changing it into a game is probably like a really good way of dealing with like trying to organize your thinking. And what about the things that you use regularly? Do you refuse to touch them as well? I would make it even more interesting. It would make it even more interesting. Yeah. So childish. Don't shut up, me. I want to know what's the best part. You'll be the one doing it. Yes, force me to do it for you. Oh no. Oh yes. Start panicking as soon as I get into multiple choice situation. Yes, I know the feeling, darling. Oh god. Decision paralysis is real. I just keep changing my mind and I end up crying and running away. Do you want that to happen? Oh well, no. Such a handful. These inner thoughts are so mean. You're already proven that you're able to make decisions. Why not continue on that road? Do what you want. She can make choices, it's just if this is a way to help her organise her thinking, like I don't see the problem with it. Do what you want. I go to the middle of the room and look around. Where would I hide if I was a tiny firefly? This is so thrilling. My heart gets warmer from the pleasant anticipation. Hey, wow. Look down. I look down. After a moment, I saw a small ball of light and warmth crawls out from under my sweater. Wowie. Wowie. There's smoke coming from your clothes. But don't do that, because you'll start having a panic. Wowie. Cute. I carefully grab the firefly. It's pleasantly scorching to the touch. Put it on my shoulder. I'm sorry, little guy. Time to come home now. As if it was an order, the firefly drifts up, circles around my head for a bit, and then flies into my ear like with the speed of a bullet. Hey, it tickles. One down. Let's look for the others. Yep. Okay. Oh. Oh, it's a point and click. Okay, it did change it. Okay, let's look in the bag then. I look down, my school bag worn down and silly. It's almost screaming of its own uselessness. Bags are useful though, don't say that. From another angle, it looks like a full belly. Yeah, it does a little bit. Its contents are also regurgitating, decomposing, and turned into sticky, mushy substance. Gross. What a cool image. I need to remember this. It'd be great for like, especially if you're quite a creative person and you're doing lots of like art or writing, like having visualizations and active imagination like this was kind of useful. Totally not cool, totally not cool, senseless and cruel. God. I hate these inner thoughts so much because it's like I'm forced to choose these. Tell me what's inside the bag instead. Nothing special, mostly just all sorts of books. I've taken out all the pens and notebooks out of there. I'm not interested in anything else. You used to go to school, didn't you? Yeah, I did. I had a blast all the way. Are you sure you understood my question? Do you think everything in my life should be doom and gloom? Well, you're wrong. Alright, alright. What did you like most there? The rooms are really bright, not like at home. That's it? Don't rush me. Let me remember. The beds are also soft and the food was nice. By the way, he attended all the classes. The others always skipped. They probably got told off so hard. Smiled gently at absorbed in warm memories. What's she on about? Like saying that they got warm beds at school. He never graduated though. Yeah. Do you remember your last day there? It was a normal day. Oh, Dad picked me up earlier than usual. He told me I'd already too old for that school's curriculum. I also realised that some time ago the tasks were way too easy. So she was quite a smart student then. And then we got into the car and we went home. Mum greeted us there, we had dinner and we went to our rooms. I guess that day has absolutely no special meaning for you. Then what happened? I don't remember. Does it even matter? Tell me about it again. Okay. It's really sort of pushing this. I'm assuming this is the day that her dad died. And she just doesn't, her brain just does not want to remember that at all. Your memory that bad? Please. Okay, fine. Dad picked me up from school early, explaining to me that I needed to grow up. Oh, right. It's not like I could completely grasp what he meant. Either way, I didn't resist. We got into the car and we went home. Mum greeted us there, we had dinner together, and then we went to our separate rooms. Satisfied? I kind of want to push it for game's sake, but I feel so cruel doing this, like telling her to do it again and again so that she gives more detail. But yeah. Think about it again. Dad dragged me out of the school building while I was scratching and biting. The teachers didn't interfere. That scene was ordinary for them. Who knows what little brat has done? Okay. So she left in a state. Yeah. Like I've having neurodivergent kids, you kind of get used to this type of thing. He then pushed me into the car and we drove home in complete silence. Mum greeted us and we had dinner and went to our separate rooms. Please, let's not discuss this further. No, tell me again. Yeah, she really doesn't want to do this. Dad bought milk on our way home. Oh, that's why it's important. Again. I hate milk so much. So she wouldn't have drunk it then. So her mum acted out. Yeah. Mum was not home. Again. I hate Mum so much. What happened next? Suddenly I feel someone's eyes on my back, knowing that these moments should have never ever be ignored. I turn around, but there's nothing there. What happened next? Everything that happened next happened after something that led to everything that happened after what had happened. That's complicated. I look at my bag again, light pouring into the room through the window, glints of the metal parts. And there is also a shadow underneath it. It means it's real, sadly. Never, I don't care anymore. I almost end up kicking the bag in a fit of a sudden anger, but I manage to stop myself in the nick of time. If I move it even an inch, the whole picture will collapse and I'll go blind. It's already happened countless times. What do you mean you'll go blind? Like, this is like sort of her irrational thinking. Like before when you were saying like with the firefly on a jumper, and it's just like tell her that she's on fire. And it's, yeah, it's the intrusive, like really irrational sort of panicky thoughts of anxiety that she keeps getting. I spent months memorizing the location of every item in my room. That's why I can see them so clearly and so vividly. Yeah, everything has a place, and then she knows in her mind everything has a place. She feels a bit safer. You won't get it. Look at your feet. I look down and see a small insect crawling towards me from my bag. It's barely glowing, and it can't even fly. I guess this firefly is really tired. Bend down to pick it up. The firefly starts going brightly as soon as I touch it, and then it flies up. There you go, boy. Good job. After doing a victory lap around the room, it flies towards me at high speed. I shut my eyes, anticipating the firefly to enter into my ear. That's exactly what happens. After it gets inside, it buzzes a little while and then goes silent. This one's kind of sad. Yeah. The incident with her dad when she was at school. Wonder why. It doesn't matter. What matters is it's no longer alone. So let's continue searching. Okay. So we had a thought about Dad. Well, there's so many. Oh God. Oh, what's that? Alright, so that's the most interesting one. Oh God, that's so distorted. Yeah, let's deal with this. I can't deal with this until I deal with others, I'm assuming. Okay, radio. Radio? Okay. Okay, it's just music. Okay. Another radio. White noise in your head. Yep. Book. This is my sketchbook. Half the pages are blank, which means it still be good for a couple of years. You draw that rarely. Why? Isn't it obvious? If I run out of pages, I'll have to buy a new sketchbook, so she's been very, very sparing with it. I can't get to the stationery store on foot. I'll have to take the bus. Oh, well, that's a... yeah, okay. That's a huge trip for her, then. Yeah. Considering that she struggles just to get down to the shop to buy some milk. You ever realise what kind of nightmare that would turn into? Very anxiety-inducing. Or maybe if you ask your mum to buy you a new one. Thing is her perspective of her mum might not be true. That's the thing. Because everything that she's experiencing is warped. Like, she sees her mum as a monster, but her mum might not be. So. Why what? Ask whom? Can't even form coherent sentences. Don't play dumb. Ask your mum to buy you a notebook instead. So, you want me to perform a string of actions, but you're already telling me to do one instead of another? Then how would I decide which action to take? You're so dyslexic. What? That doesn't even make any sense. Man, you're a tough case. Yes. This is what I should say to myself. Lack empathy? Is that my fault? Like, empathy for yourself. Yeah. Sort of thing you don't really think about. You think about having empathy for other people. But if you treat yourself as if you were a friend, then you would have to have empathy for yourself. Like, get closer to the sketchbook, stepping over the wires and the sleeping bag, the cracks in the laminate, and the window's reflection. The sketchbook is lying on a stool. From my height, it seems like the stool is missing 2 legs. I squat and look again. All legs are in place. Will I be able to think of an interesting allegory? Oh, let's not go there, okay? Nothing wrong with allegories. I stand up and study the sketchbook from inches away. Its pages are pure white. The last drawing is buried in the previous page. This is the way it should be. Too bad, I'd love to see it. Maybe next time. Sudden gust of chilly wind breaks into the room and makes the pages rustle. Oh no. I shut my eyes. A distinctive sound of the pages turning echoes like a headache in my head. I know what's going to happen. Rustling has stopped. Even though the wind is still howling from every direction, it can only mean one thing. The notebook is on the first page. If I wait a little longer, the wind will close it. I won't have to look. I'll have to wait a little longer. If I wait, your eyes. Nope. It's okay, just do it. No way. I know you're lying. Calm down. No. Oh, the stubbornness. Calm down. Oh. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Fine. I open my eyes with the utmost caution. The notebook is still open in the middle, no drawings, nothing. The pages are still pure white. Did I imagine it? I don't know, did you? You're the smart one here, you tell me. Next time, don't close your eyes. What did you... I couldn't finish speaking because the pages started moving again. Don't close your eyes. Like hiding from the inevitable things that are going to happen. Like, the thing is just, she said before that she likes the anticipation of things that are very controlled and that she's come up with herself. But the idea of something unpredictable happening, that she, like, my perfect order is being disrupted, and it's just something as simple as a page being moved on a sketchbook, and she's, like, panicking about it and doesn't want to see it. Like, everything has to be perfect. And the perfectionism is very relatable. Making sure that you have a sense of control in an environment, especially a place like your room. Don't make me do it, I'm scared. Trust me. The rustling grows louder, the pages lift up. I can almost see the outlines of drawings of previous page. No way. Everything in the past should stay in the past. Couldn't convince me, that's it. I'm closing my eyes. Look there. Barely visible light seeps through the pages. With every new gust, it becomes brighter and brighter. A firefly. The wind immediately stops for a moment, and the world sinks into perfect silence, but only for a moment. The buzz that always been haunting me fills the surroundings. It doesn't matter now. Goodness gracious, little boy. You made me so scared. The firefly blinks, flies up, enters into my ear, buzzing loudly all the way. I spend some time looking for the perfect spot in my head, and then the buzzing dies down. It's a really good sort of analogy though, like of trying to organise your thinking. Like the fact that thoughts are so chaotic like fireflies, and then having to slowly coax each one out and actually think about why it's there. Yeah, it's a really good analogy. I don't know if anyone's mentioned it, but this game is kind of loud in comparison to your voice. Oh, okay. No, nobody's mentioned it. I did ask earlier, but I can turn it down. See if that helps. You. Are you okay? We're running short of time, but let's continue searching. Right, okay, we did bag, we did book. Umbrella? We're kind of staying in this area, so... Umbrella emanates a faint sense of coolness. No wonder it's no longer... Oh my god. No wonder it's the only thing that defends me against the thunderclouds that gather under my ceiling. Yeah, she's mentioned this before in the first game about how imagining a rain cloud above her head, sort of like containing all her sadness, and that it's only raining on her, which is a common sort of trope in a lot of expressive sort of animations. Such a blessing that it can do it without my help. Still, a firefly wouldn't hide in a place like that. It would catch a cold, unable to fly. Don't want to check? Alright, let's continue searching. You don't want to check? Why, I'm sure I won't find anything there. You're never sure. Yeah, the whole point of checking is checking. Okay. Maybe it was just a call back to the sad cloud that she had. Chest of drawers? Maybe? I doubt it. All these compartments are locked. What if... Just saying that, like just going, yeah, no, that's fine, it will be there, without even attempting to look. I don't even want to think about what's inside. Who knows what I'll end up imagining. Okay. Because you got to be kind of careful with her, because she's prone to irrational thinking, and if her rational thoughts start getting to the point where she brings herself into a panic, then we have to like bring her back down again. Yeah. So while it's sort of like you have to push her slightly but not too much in order to like, yeah, it's such a good game so far, like trying to get you to understand the perspective of somebody who has like high anxiety. It's very interesting. The game is tailored to be psychological and disturbing. Sound is one way to do it. Yeah, true. Like, it's, but obviously, if you guys can't hear what I'm saying, then, yeah. I don't want it to be the sound of the game to be so overwhelming that you can't hear what I'm saying. Okay, so, she wants this to be locked for a reason. We can do a fan. Do the fan? Hehehe. What's so funny about that? I imagine myself being a firefly that is looking straight into a giant fan. And? I'd be so jealous. The only thing preventing it from flying into a cage is locked in and the cable. The only thing preventing it from flying is a cage. Right, okay, and it's locked in. Yeah, right, okay. It's like an inmate, if you think about it. Like, the blades are... such a, like, a very imaginative perspective. This is how my kids think, which is fascinating. It's a very childlike way of, like, imagining, like, when you see something and you start visualizing it as something else. My kids do this all the time. They have such amazing creativity. So sad. Yeah. Let's continue searching. Okay. Computer then. Looks like my laptop. I haven't touched it for years. So it's covered in a layer of dust as thick as my finger. Okay, yeah, that's not good. A bizarre item. I fear it. Okay, why? A long and boring story. Wonderful. Tell me about it. I insist. I don't remember how it appeared in my room. One of my parents probably brought it here because they couldn't find a better place for it. One of my parents, was it your dad? Yeah. Imagine not touching your computer. Yeah, that's weird. Especially if to the point where it's got a thick layer of dust on it. Yeah. They didn't prohibit me from using it, or on the other hand, they encouraged me to do so. Sure, I spent my whole days in front of the screen, games, drawing, engineering, calculator, 3D modelling. So much fun stuff to do. You had amusing hobbies. Yeah, I did. Before entering the web. Okay. Imagine this. You're a hamster that lives underground. You have everything for comfortable living. Little Nightmares captures the feeling masterfully how kids see the world around them and as huge scary monsters. Well, like, as a kid, like, from what I can remember, it's just, I always felt just kind of lost. I never really felt like I had a sense of direction and I didn't know what to do. The only thing that I ever wanted to do was stay inside and draw. And, then I got forced to go places and do things. And it's like getting dragged around, just constantly being being forced to live in the world when I didn't want to. But I did it because I felt like, well, you know, and they're my parents, I have to do what they say, those are the rules. And yeah. And when I became an adult and realised that I could do what I want when I was a young sort of teenager, so sort of like, well, not a young teenager, but like mid-teenager, like 15, 16, 17, 18, and forcing myself to go out into the world and do things, and then being absolutely exhausted by it, because I felt like, well, that's what I have to do. It's a rule. You're supposed to go out. You're supposed to do stuff. And then realising finally, like, oh no, I can actually do what I want. I'm an adult now. And yeah. Like, realising that you're your own person is a big thing. Like, as a kid, you don't really feel like you're your own person because everything's controlled by what adults are telling you what to do. You're dragged around by a potato bag. Pretty much. I was very reluctant to do things, but I got forced to do things. But now as an adult, I'm like, I get to stay in, I get to play games, I get to draw, I get to do all the things that I wanted to do when I was a kid. Alright, okay. So a hamster living underground and everything is comfortable. Did you imagine? As always, yeah, God, my brain's not working. Analogies are spot on. Okay, I imagined. Alright? So you're a hamster that lives underground and everything is comfortable living, okay? Yes. Wonderful. There's a situation. You're a hamster that lives. Okay, I got it. Do you want to talk about something else? Yeah. Fine. You'll end up returning to the subject anyway. This is one of these points where should we push her to start thinking about things, or should we just leave it alone? I think we should try and push her on this one, because she's like slowly coming out of her comfort zone here, which is kind of a good thing. Okay. And one wonderful day, something digs you up from your hamster house and brings you to a pet store. Now your new home is a cage. Okay. Way more comfortable and warm compared to the underground. And the most important part, we've got lots of neighbours there. Their cages are identical to yours, and the other hamsters look identical to you too. That means they're all the same. Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier about how like everybody's thinking the same things, they just think it in a slightly different way. And everybody's like, everyone's in their own little world, everyone's got their own things and their own issues to deal with. And it's one of these things where when you're in your own, in her analogy, when you're in your own little cage, all you think about is your problems, and you think that everybody else out, you can see everybody else in their cages, and they don't seem to be having anything going on. So you think you're alone and you're the only one who has any problems, but every single hamster is having their own problems. Yeah. It's about remembering that everybody's human and that you're not alone. You're literally not alone. Everyone is going through the exact same thing as you. It's just they have different ways of dealing with it. So apart from the fact that they were born at that shop, you'll ask, what does that indicate? And they'll tell you nothing at all. Forget what I was talking about. Gosh. Okay, let's start over. This time, try to avoid the stupid hamster. It was a good analogy! My stupid brain's so evil. Okay. Hamsters with no cage. I guess if you're somebody who doesn't close themselves off like that, like you don't really see yourselves as being alone from the beginning, that's got to be such a freeing experience. It's also kind of sad as well, because everyone, like, you see that other people have a cage and you've got to keep reminding them, like, you're not alone, you don't really have a cage, we're all sort of in a giant cage together rather than separate cages. So, but trying to get people to see that must be so difficult. So it would be, even though you don't have a cage, it would be terribly lonely, because everybody else is in their own individual ones. Yeah, so it would have the same effect. So even if you don't have one, you would be lonely amongst other people with cages, and they'll be lonely in their own individual cages too. So it would still have the same effect, it's just a different perspective. It really hits me whenever I read passages in 1900 books or whatever, and there's people were always people. They always had the same emotions and thoughts all the time. Yeah, it's the same thing with me when I'm reading, there's an ancient Egyptian tablet complaining about somebody not fulfill. Like, I paid for an order of some building materials and it hasn't arrived, and and it's ridiculous that, you know, I've already paid for it and where is it? And it's just somebody complaining, and I was just like, it's just very human. We're all screwed. It's a lab for hamsters. Yeah, we just need to figure out who the scientist is. Okay. So, I had lots of friends online. Tens, hundreds of them. Impossible to count. Okay. Is it impossible though? I had exactly 307 of them. Although I guess nobody counts the exact number of hamsters when they walk in the pet shop. Okay. Hey, don't get distracted. Because she's talking about hamsters, yeah. Alright. From my 307 friends, 68 were into gaming just like me. 130 of them liked drawing, just like me. The remaining 119 were into calculators and 3D modeling equally. Okay. Mr. Lonely. Lonely in a single-starred belly. What's that say? Something on a bench? I'm so lonely. And when I say equally, I don't mean 59 and a half friends on each side. Alright? Well, you can't have half a friend. You split numbers evenly, no problem, but math doesn't work like that when it comes to friends. Just a major conundrum, right? Well, no, because you've got every single one. You can't have half of one when it comes to people. I guess unless it's a baby in somebody's belly, then that would make sense as half. Okay, get to the point. I knew, of course, there's no real people exist on the web. Well, they are real people. It's just they're distant. Like, if you see them as real people, then they become... You're a lot more connected to the humanity of having online friends. Like, having online friends for me is, like, pretty much the only lifeline that I could have. Because I'm not very good with people in real life. Like, when I'm in front of people, I get terribly anxious. And I get so questioning about everything. Like, the way I sound, the way I move my hands, making enough eye contact, making sure that I don't stand too close to them, all this sort of thing, and the tone of my voice, everything. When I'm away from that, and it's with people online, it's just so much easier because I don't have to think about that type of thing. Because there's a disconnect. I have like space. I literally have like lots and lots of space. Dead internet theory. We're all not real. Dun dun dun. Oh my god. I'm having a delusion. Is that what it is? Game and chat confusing sick. That's not difficult, no. But yeah, like, seeing online friends as actual real people, just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not real. I also understand that all my friends die the moment I turn my laptop off. Oh no, that's a horrible way to think about it. They don't stop existing just because you turned your computer off. But I still wasn't even a bit worried. Why? Do you know what computer programs consist of? It's just a combination of numbers. Which means my friends are also numbers. Isn't that amusing? No, the computer is a medium for communication. It doesn't mean that they're not real. I guess we're all in the Matrix. Red pill, blue pill time. Okay, not really. Why do you call them your friends? This is another thing that I've like, my dad does this, but my dad's a boomer, so keep that in mind when I tell you this. My dad is a boomer. He's terrible with technology too. So when I talk about my online friends and what they're getting up to, he's like, hey, but they're not real. They're not your real friends. And it's just like, you can't really, because how do you know? You don't know anything about them. It's like, you don't know, they could be pretending. And it's just like, but like, I speak to them, and I, you know, for literally for years now, and I'm like, I speak to them, and like, I engage with them, and we talk, and he's like, yeah, but you never met them. And it's just like, it's not the point. The point is just like, they're still people. It doesn't mean that they're not real, and it's so hard for him to get in his own head that online friends are real friends, which is baffling that a lot of people don't think that. I mean, everyone who shares my interests is my friend. No. I don't even care whether they know about my existence or not. Anyways, I was saying, every program has its own algorithm and purpose, its mathematical formula. And if you solve that formula, you'll be able to predict the program's behavior at any moment. Okay? But people are not computers. The longer you speak, the less I follow. You don't need to follow me around, just listen. I sit on the floor and the laptop screen ends up right on in front of me. The only thing reflecting in it is my dim face. A web person is just a random picture and a random string of letters, words and actions from the web person and are just executable code. Like, if she's like seeing people like this, it must be really difficult for her to have any connection at all. I'll come and meet him in a second. No, my friends live in the computer. Yes, they're little tiny little people. And when I close the computer down, the sun turns off. Yeah. Honestly, at this point, catfishing is something some people like to pretend. They do. They do. Yeah, it's definitely, you got to be careful on the internet, but like, there's also, you got to be slightly more less, like, you cannot be fully guarded constantly all the time with people, because if you're like that and you start treating people like like the numbers, you start having a disconnect with humanity, and all that's going to do is make you even more lonely. You need to let your guard down sometimes and accept people for who they are while being guarded, and reminding yourself that they might not be fully truthful, but they're still people. Yeah, but when you speak to somebody for close to 10 years every week, the situation becomes a little bit different at some point. Yeah, like you tend to be less guarded the longer it goes along. You got to remember that they are still people, even if they are pretending, even if they are even if they are being truthful or false, being false and things like that, they're still people. Treating them like they're not a person just because they're online, yeah, it's sort of like the losing the humanity, the disconnect from humanity is the bigger problem, because that's a lot of social media ends up being like that. Because when you start treating people like they're just words on a screen, you start not associating them with being a person, and you can say really hurtful things to them, and not reminding yourself that this is another person with their life and opinions and dreams and aspirations and stuff on the other side of the screen. Yeah, it's just, you have to keep that humanity in mind. Even if they're being an asshole, they're still human. Yeah, you just have to keep that in mind. Hold on, can we create barriers? I didn't know. I think a lot of people do when they're online. Like, being online for me is lifeline, because it's the way I socialize. Like, socializing outside the internet is so painful for me. Yeah, so yeah, the social media is so hostile in part because of the disassociation. Yeah, like if every single person who went on social media reminded themselves that whoever they were talking to is also a person, they would be a lot kinder, I think. Amy's is sick. I guess I just joined on a heavy topic. The whole game is a heavy topic. Like, it's about managing anxiety, also dealing with death, and keeping track of your own thoughts, dealing with medication, and if you should or shouldn't take it, and the side effects of it and stuff. And also, like, at the moment she's talking about how people being online don't feel like people to her. They feel just like words on a screen. Okay, hey, let me know if you need a break. Yeah. One day someone appeared. From that point, my laptop was always on. There was no real people on the web, but he was good at pretending. Right, this is why she's saying they're just people on, just numbers on the screen. At some point, I let him trick me. Hey, look. Huh? Suddenly, a firefly slowly crawls out of a laptop's vent grill. And I reach for it, and it gets on top of my palm, blinking all the while. I think I'm trying to say something. I think it's trying to say something. I can see that myself, if I only knew what. Looks like a cipher. Do you want to crack it? I change my mind. I have absolutely no desire to find out what it wants to say. Firefly stops glowing for a moment. After that, it starts glowing again, as if it's coming to its senses. For some time, it thinks about further course of its actions and flies up and dashes into my ear. Yeah, this sounds weird for people who just joined, but fireflies are analogies for her thinking, for her thoughts. Flies into her ear. She's organising her fireflies or thoughts. Let's continue searching. And what about your story? You must be mad at me for interrupting you. I'm sorry. If you do everything right, I'll finish my story maybe. Okay? You promise. I promise. And if you forget, then remind me. I just got one saying, please forget it. But I won't, because I won't. For achievement. But then remind me with the code word, for example. What code word? I'll think of one later. No! That's how you forget things! And for now, let's keep searching for my fireflies. Okay. So we managed to cover these objects. There's probably more. Oh, there's more radios. She has 3 radios. Like 1, 2, 3. Why she got so many? We have alarm clock. We have plants, cupboard, vent, aircon. We have quite a few things to look through. Okay, so I'm kind of doing this area. So yes, finish searching. No. This is my sleeping bag. It's soft and warm. I'm sure that no living creature will be able to resist the temptation of spending a minute or 2 inside. And she must really like radios, yeah. They want to dig deep in it with a couple of favourite items and close your eyes and then... Hey, did you fall asleep? Getting all cozy. Huh? I gently slap my cheeks to return myself to my senses. It's already way past midnight. Usually I'll be sleeping like a log at this time, but right now I can't. Understandable. Like last night I couldn't sleep until like 3:30 in the morning. Let's continue searching. Or maybe you'll find something inside. Nah, my thoughts don't have a feature. My thoughts don't have a feature of putting to sleep. Quite contrary, there's always cause insomnia, just like tonight. Okay. What? Okay. I'm gonna say okay. We understand about not being able to sleep, don't we, guys? Food time. Yeah. Okay. Right, I'll be back shortly. I really do want to keep playing. It's just I really should eat because otherwise I won't. Because I'm terrible at remembering to eat, which is why Giga likes to tell me this to help me keep my food intake in. All right, I'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. I did ask Sick if he wanted to come and join, but I think he's super tired because he also didn't sleep because I didn't sleep. So I'm gonna say something, but I got pull the slider at work. That's fine. Busy, busy, busy. Absolutely fine. I'll eat and work at the same time, apparently. Working quotes. Okay, so we did the sleeping bag. Right, not being able to sleep. This one, I think, unlocks later. We have... Oh, those are the pills. Let's do alarm clock. Okay. Look at the alarm clock. Time continues. Unstoppable flow. Oops, it's too late. It's so late. Yeah, I was doing this last night. Clock watching is the worst thing to do when you can't sleep. You're tired. Yes. But that doesn't stop you from sleeping. You bet I am. I let out a theatrical yawn and hold out my arms to the sides. 1, 2. Then I raised them above my head. 3, 4. Maybe a little workout will help freshen me up. Maybe that's what I should do when I can't sleep. I should just go on the treadmill. Good idea. Do you remember the exercises that you were taught? I think so. I take a hesitant stance. What was it? Heels together, toes apart? That's like yoga stuff, isn't it? Whatever, I'll go with that. Count down 5 minutes. Fine. You have a clock right there in front of you, though. I can't look at that. Its hands are too... I can't look at its hands for too long. God, my reading was terrible then. I thought it was saying its hands are too long. I can't look at it. At first I feel like they start moving in the wrong direction and then they'll disappear altogether. And then things always get messy. Last time I saw a pair of eyes on the clock face. Alright, then she starts going off on her irrational thinking again. Also, I used to hear voices back in the day. They pleaded for help, I think. What a mess. Truly a mess. It was a mess, right? A mess. Well, are you counting down? Sure. My god, finally. What do you mean? I was trying to get through to you for half an hour. Oh, right, she went on a merry adventure in her own brain then. Huh? Forget it. Do you see the firefly? No. Let's continue searching then. Okay, so the clock definitely doesn't have something. Does someone have psychosis? I think what it is it's like anxiety induced. Because she has so much anxiety. Like in the beginning when we played the sort of prelude, the first episode, she seemed to have this huge amount of anxiety when she went to go to the shop to get some milk, and the visuals sort of reflected that, like everything is distorted and red and she can't see anything particularly well. Everything's like really weirdly pixelated, and she would see people as monsters, including her own mum. So I'm assuming that she does have some sort of, like, yeah, I think anxiety-induced psychosis is a thing. Like, if it's that bad, it could do. I guess, because anxiety is so bad that it can break your brain and break your perception of the world. The main thing is just, she's very imaginative, but she's also massively, because she keeps talking about, she goes on these analogies a lot, and she makes up, like, imaginative scenarios. And I think that she gets caught in the imagination side of it, and then she starts thinking of these, well, what if the world was like this? And then she starts going quite bad into, like, oh, well, it's, you know, like, there's monsters around me and things like that. So I think she ended up causing, I think mostly it's supposed to be her imagination going wild rather than actual psychosis. But She does say that she was hearing voices and stuff, so that really does sound like it. Like it could be psychosis. What else we got? Posters? And what are those? Oh, those. Those are photos of my best memories. Okay. But they're blank. Ugh. I stare at them so intensely, I burned them with my eyes. Now they're just covered in covering the cracks in the walls. Cracks? Forget it. Are we continuing search or what? Okay, we are. Okay. The fact, like, I was saying about how imaginative she is, like, having blank paper there, and she's, like, forcing memories onto the paper by visualizing them. That's why I thought, like, it's probably her imagination. Either that or it's basically, I don't have any happy memories, that's why they're all blank. We have aircon. The abyss is my mate, we're best buds, yeah. I look up towards a high place under my ceiling. I can hear countless numbers of small legs marching inside the AC unit. No thank you. Oh well. What happened? Fireflies can't be friends with cockroaches. We'd better look somewhere else. Why would cockroaches be in there? Have you forgotten? You were the one who told me to think of my thoughts as cockroaches. And now she's hearing cockroaches inside the air conditioning. Yes, but they became fireflies afterwards, but cockroaches don't disappear just like that. Okay, so I'm thinking her fireflies are supposed to be like sort of like memories that she wants to focus on, like potentially like good memories. And the cockroaches are the bad ones, which she's trying to ignore. But they're still around, and she can still hear them, but she's trying to this is what she's doing, she's trying to focus on the good things at the moment. I think that's what she's trying to do to help her sleep. So they occupied this place. Don't you understand now? Do you understand now? Kind of. I'll pretend that I do. I kind of understand, but I'm not sure, like, what her perspective is. Just say I don't. And then she might explain it more. Oh, she didn't explain it more. Explain things to me, woman. Right, we'll do the waste bin? I get close to the waste bin and look inside it with curiosity. Pill packaging, notebook pages, and other garbage. Boring. There's nothing here. Instead of... Indeed, so self-respecting firefly would hide in a heap of garbage. Can't disagree with you there. Okay. Yeah, no good memory would be in. Notes? Your unusual notebook page is glued to the wall with duct tape. Duct tape, not duck, quack quack tape. Numbers are drawn on them. It's only kind of information, but can't take in without trouble. Doses and side effects? Dosage and side effects. Yeah. I thought you knew them by heart. Yeah. But it's always good to have some of the backup plan, just to make sure that you truly know. Not your handwriting, is it? Of course it's not. Shaky broken lines, ugly numbers, it's not writing. That's just like Claw at his doctor's writing. Don't forget to thank your mum. Oh, it's your mum's writing. Don't need your advice. Scream makes the pages rustle restlessly. After a moment, a firefly appears underneath one of them. After looking around like a business-like manner, it takes off into a business-like flight and ends up entering my business-like ear. Hey, let's continue searching. Yeah, it's because she has a problem with taking her medication. When she doesn't take it, she has panic attacks. So, she reminding herself that she like this is a good thing. Like having medication is a good thing because it is actually helping her. Wait, I think light bulbs. Also a vent. Kind of. Let's try this one. It's not easy to get out of here. Damn, she just left you. No understanding for you. No. I'm used to that though. Most people leave me hanging. I'll pretend that you have a picture frame. Okay. Light bulbs? Are you serious? What's wrong? Just think about it. Why would fireflies be attracted to light? I think they're quite self-sufficient already in that regard. Well, only if they're purposefully you want to lower their self-esteem. Why would good memories be attracted to light bulbs? Plants? All these dying plants. Right, insects enjoy pollinating with flowers and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess. I get close to the flower shelf, I sniff around. The leaves smell of dust and cardboard and death. Yeah, because you haven't been watering them, I'm assuming. You know those plants are long dead, right? I'm not sure a dead plant would be able to attract insects. Well, we kinda don't have a choice here, you know? Still, you're right, let's continue searching. Why don't you just throw them out? Weren't you listening to me at all? She likes everything in its place. I'm assuming what it is everything in her room is as it was on the day that her dad died, which is why everything's like has to be this way. Because she's trying to preserve the memory of what it was like when her dad was alive. Okay. Tilt my head backwards. Almost fall over. The closet is hanging under the ceiling. At least 300 feet off the 300 feet off the floor. That's a bit much. Are you joking? Even though it's my room, not everything here is for me to use. Whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care at all. Like, totally. I'm definitely not worried. Not even the littlest bit. Not even a smidgen of the littlest bit. Not even for the 1,000th of a percent. That's how much I don't care. Hey, I'm not done telling you how much I don't care. From this moment on, I'm ignoring you. It's so obvious fireflies are attracted to fire honey. Oh, you don't know. Then... Oh, no, you don't. Then act normal. A horrible thing to say, head. I think we're nearly... Oh, teeth brushing. We've got teeth brushing pills. Yeah. And then this I can't interact with. I turn my head towards the inconspicuous shelf near the mirror. There's glass with the toothbrush sitting on it. A small towel is hanging nearby. What a wonderful sight. My fireflies are smart and good. They would never get in there. They know about personal hygiene. Okay, and then let's look somewhere else. Okay, that was simple. I look at the amount of pills and it makes me feel dizzy. I don't want to think about it, I don't. What's wrong? I've almost skipped my dose for today. How reckless. I could have died. Calm down, you've already fixed that. You ultimately die anyway, so why worry? Well, that's not gonna help. Yeah, because you ordered me to. Because you should take your medication, because you started freaking out, darling. It's better to just... Ugh, it's one of those things where medication does make you feel like crap, but inevitably it is doing good overall. And if it is making you feel that bad, you need to get doses checked or maybe get something new. Is that an accusation? Things could have been much worse. I don't know if I want to fight at the moment. I think I'm just gonna go with this one, because it could have been much worse. Yeah. I heave a deep sigh, come close and extend my hand. Wow, it's warm. The moment those words leave my lips, one of the bottles overturns, pills rain down from it, along with them, a firefly. Hooray. After circling around my head a couple of times, it finally lands on my palm. The firefly rushes up my arm, and upon reaching my shoulder, it crawls straight into my ear. My mind becomes a bit clearer. I think that might be the last one. Apart from the radios, which only seem to play music. I've done this one though. Okay, let's add enough of that. Okay, right, let's finish searching. You found all the fireflies. Amazing. Oh, cool. Okay. I guess. I've managed to gather my thoughts, but something still worries me. On the other hand, I wasn't supposed to be happy anyway. Happiness is not something you're really supposed to have. It's something you experience and then it goes away. And then it'll come back again later. You're not supposed to have happiness or be happy. It's something you are gifted and then it goes away a little bit and then you get gifted it again. That's the way I try and see it. You can't be happy all the time. It's just impossible. I know. If I lose something, then I find it. I'm just going back to the starting point. No changes at all, a zero sum. And happiness is always being positive, right? No. Shouldn't think too much, it hurts you. I want to sleep. Don't we all, darling? Wise words from Sensei. It's just what you kind of pick up as you get older, I guess. How about you get some fresh air before sleeping? That sounds like a good idea. What do you mean? Go to the balcony and breathe in some air. Somehow the words triggered a panic attack in me. I subconsciously stepped away from the balcony. Oh, right, okay. I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, because of what happened with her dad. The head is so annoying sometimes. Keeps questioning things all the time. Why? It sounds silly, but I feel like someone is watching me. Right, let's stay in here. There's no way somebody cares about you that much. I have this thing as well, as part of like my social anxiety, I guess, is I have a thing about being perceived. So I've only recently sort of figured this out. That like when I go out, I feel like everybody's watching me and they're judging me all the time. Every single person I walk past, they're judging me. And it's this irrational thought process that goes through my head. And I try and block it out. Listening to music helps massively because I can just listen. I'm listening to music and and doing a task. I'm not doing a task and listening to music, and so I can just focus on doing that. But the idea that I feel like everybody's constantly judging me all the time, every time I go somewhere, and it's a horrible experience that I have to deal with, especially when I'm actually talking to somebody, like cashiers and stuff, like she did with the cashier. And yeah, it's a very, like, I get like heart palpitations because I'm like, I have to talk to somebody, but I also have to say the right things in the right order so that they don't judge me properly, judge me poorly, because I don't want to come across as being something I'm not. And so it could, saying that, and I get told this, that nobody cares about you that much. They're so wrapped up in their own thinking, they're not even paying attention to you. And it's such a horrible thing, like going out and thinking that I'm constantly being watched all the time, and when I'm not, nobody cares about me, but it's irrational thinking. So this is true. No one cares about you that much. But at the same time, I don't know if she's ready to hear it. Because if going towards the balcony is going to be anxiety-inducing to the point where she has a panic attack coming on, I don't think this is going to help her right now. But it's sort of like, do I want to push her out of her comfort zone a little bit more? To sort of make her realise something, have a bit of a sort of exposure therapy? Or am I going to say she's not ready yet and she can stay inside? It's so difficult to decide, like, if I should push her or not. Because you don't really want to push people who get panicked, because they're clearly not ready. But at the same time, you want them to grow. Yeah. Making choices like this is always difficult. I hate making choices. So, I'm kind of tempted to do this one just for gameplay sake, but yeah. Nine chats are staring at your voice right now. That makes me feel so nervous. When I see the number tick up sometimes, I start going, oh god, there's more of them. Just for a couple of minutes, okay? Yeah, okay. I think pushing her helped. I'm sick of being heavy. It was a heavy game, so... Oh, it's 10 now. No, don't do that. I'm ignoring. I'm ignoring the number. Okay, it's on the balcony. My apartment building looks like a bottomless cooking pot, but instead of soot, like hundreds of concrete metal boxes on its walls. Oh, it's like a circular tube, essentially. That's an interesting building type. There are lights on the windows and there are muffled voices coming from inside. The howling wind spirals up and splits into hundreds of independent streams. Seems like it wants to be heard by every single person living here. You must feel so lonely living in endless silence. Your apartment building is pretty weird, isn't it? It is. It's sort of having a circular build. I've never really seen a circular building like that. I could see the horizon from my window before, but the building grew for miles in both directions. I guess at some point it circled around and closed in on itself. Okay, it's her perception of the building. It's become all-encompassing. And then she has the O in the sky. The O is watching, guys. Nothing unusual about that. ... How do you feel? Yeah, how do you feel being on the balcony now? Definitely feel sometimes that's more than enough. Still, you're anxious, aren't you? Of course. Moreover, I'm completely terrified. Was it that obvious? You're looking in every direction but up. Because she doesn't like looking at the O. Ah, this. I've already told you, haven't I? About what? Ah, you know, small stuff. Can small stuff make you terrified? Yeah, of course it can. It's hard to explain. Of course it can make you terrified. Usually it's the small stuff that breaks you as well. Like, big stuff can be handled because there's a lot of moving parts, so you have a lot to look at. And you can, like, you know, get a better scale because there's loads of details to help carry you. So you're like, oh, well, it works because of this and this and this, and that's connected to this, and that you know, it's all complex, so you've got to see all. But it's things that are simple, it's like one or two things. It's not enough detail for you to get a better sense of the things. So it might come across as simple to some people, but it's actually more complicated with less information that you have. I climb up the metal railing and I let my legs hang down. I sneak short glances at the abyss from time to time. It replies with angry, cold breath. Oof. That's how we interact, like old friends. Like, that's kind of relatable to me. Like, I have this thing, so, like, my kids... The way my kids communicate is they're not very good with conversation. So they will, ask people, go up to people and say, how do you feel? To try and have a conversation starter, because they're not very good at starting conversations. And one of them came to me and says, how do you feel? And I'm always honest. And I was like, I feel okay, but I constantly have a layer of sadness. I always have an undercurrent, I call it, an undercurrent of sadness. It's kind of just like my baseline of who I am as a person. And it does often feel like I'm in a rowing boat over a dark abyss of water. And it's like I'm trying to ignore the abyss and stick to doing what I'm doing in the boat. But yeah, I know exactly how this feels. Like, it's always there. But you try to ignore it. Sometimes I feel like the whole world pretends to be crazy. As if they're trying to make me believe that's something that doesn't exist. That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, but at the same time, it makes you feel a little bit happy, knowing that everybody does the same thing. Like, they're trying to make a good thing out of a bad situation. Everything around me was created for my sake. Deceive, trick, and confuse me. That's true. I guess I'm not so crazy myself after all. Not if you can see the truth behind it, if you know that you're being deceived, no. Then you would feel like you're in control. Because you've seen past the delusion. I know this is how a lot of conspiracy people end up feeling. Like, oh, I can see the truth. So they feel more in control. Even if that truth is not actually true. But they feel like it is. So they feel way more in control. You believe in this You're believing in this definition of craziness. You're probably right. Another gust of wind blasts against the pot's walls, smashing the glass to dust and blowing away the concrete crust. I, on the other hand, feel a gentle breeze that only rustles my hair. Not letting the bad things bother you. Still haven't come up with a code word. Yeah, we need a code word. You were the one to remember your promise. You didn't need a code word anymore. I don't like when this happens. I want to remember certain things only when I want to. Oh god, if only. All those horrible memories that keep coming back and all the like mistakes you've made. And you don't have a choice, it just pops into your head. It's so annoying. Where's Solitaire when you need him? Nonetheless, we've made that promise. And I'll keep it. But you need to keep in mind that at this moment, every word will bring me pain. Oh. Okay. I think sometimes you've got to kind of work through the pain, though. Just go tiny little drops of pain, and eventually you can work yourself through it. I bend down and imagine falling into the abyss. I have exactly 2 minutes before I meet my end. Oh god. Don't tell me she jumped. Or at least is she imagining that she's jumping? I had a friend online, my best friend. Even though the combination of letters he used instead of his name wasn't that cool. Or the combination of pixels he had instead of his photo, that was also boring and unattractive. It was so strange and wrong, breaking the rules of being online. Why was he doing that? Maybe his code was a few lines short. I don't quite get what you mean. I could tell you about those rules. You can't find them anywhere. But I'm smart, so I figured them out myself. Although, I'm not sure if I could divulge them. Why? When I try to say what I think out loud, I tend to make mistakes. Don't we all, darling? Oh my god, so many times. In my head, it seems like a really great idea, and then it comes out my mouth, and it's just bleh. Yeah. If I make just a single one, everything that comes out after contradicts my thoughts. Yeah. And I end up with the opposite position. And I don't want that. According to that logic, it'd be better for you to keep your mouth shut forever. Thanks, intrusive thoughts. Yeah, that's my dream. Keep my mouth shut, never get up from bed, never see or hear anything. Oh god, I know those feelings. Dream on and on. Oh, why is everything so terrible? Don't get distracted. So what was that about your friend? Friend? Ah, yes. He was brazen enough to... Come on, gather your thoughts. He somehow made me believe that he was real. It's like she'd get into a relationship with somebody who online who wasn't who they said they were. He kept describing someone else's life to me in detail as if it was him. Oh god. Especially if because she's quite young, so yeah. Like, you want to believe people on the internet, but like I said before, like you have to be kind of yes, you can be guarded and polite at the same time, but obviously she wasn't guarded. And he expected me to do the same. And then I told him everything about myself without hiding a single thing. Yeah. I grit my teeth, the wind whips my face without mercy. It slices my skin into uneven strips as if it's a piece of thin cloth. He knew more about me than anyone else in the world. You know what he did? Yes. Ha 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 ha. Sending an army of bots to harass me was probably fun. And what's most important is a win-win situation. They spawn here and there. Some bits of code are like effortless to run. No wonder the algorithm assigns that pattern more often than others from the list. Text and video generators get work at the same time. My name surfaces on the web more and more. It's unbearable. Is this related to her dad then? Because I can see why she would like have huge amount of shame and blame for this. Unbearable. Around every corner, every balcony, ceiling, attic, wall, I always feel like many pairs of watchful eyes are directed at me. Now they watch me from the screens too. But I'll put an end to it. I've decided for a long time ago. The thing is like, you can always rebuild from something like this. You just need to accept that mistakes were made. Though, maybe I only decided that only. My body crashed to the ground, smashed into a million tiny pieces like porcelain. Ugh. Second death. Wow. Oh, that is really, really dark. Things you cannot. The thing is like when people feel like they have to do this type of act, it's because it's a very all-consuming type of feeling, not realizing that they have options, they have ways out. Like, there's always another way to deal with something. You don't have to lead yourself into this type of situation. Like, it might feel like you don't have an option, but there is always another option. It's just you don't see it. And that's why you need to go and get help to see it. Because often when your mind is so clouded, like she was saying about cockroaches in her head and stuff, and when your mind is so clouded and you cannot see the way out, you need to be guided to a way out. And asking for help is not a problem. Like, that's what people are for. People literally have jobs to help you. So, this is my second death for today already. I'm cold. Let's go back inside. Maybe yeeting yourself off the cliff was a way of her resetting her overthinking. Well, it's like what's it called? Ideation. So like you get this obsession with imagining yourself die in multiple different ways, or imagining yourself already dead, and then people attending your funeral, and what would they say? How would they react to you? How would they continue their lives after you're gone and you're not around anymore? It's all just ideation. You're just trying to imagine like the world without you, and it's because you gained like an obsession with not being here, and you develop a fantasy in your head of how the world would be like especially for people who have there's tendencies and then there's ideation. So tendencies means you tend to make active motions towards causing your own death, but then but ideation is just fantasizing about it. Like I'm guilty of fantasizing about it before. I'm never like fully committed to the tendencies part, but fantasizing about it has always been a thing that I've had since I was a kid. And I don't know where it came from, but I have had it ever since I was fairly young. And it's sort of thing that as I've grown older and learned about mental health more and learned about how other people cope with things and how that I'm not alone in having negative thinking, and how, like, just because it's a fantasy doesn't mean it has to be real. And yeah, building yourself a better foundation for standing on when it comes to those types of thoughts, because you're like, it's sure is fun to fantasize about things, but at the same time you need to recognize that not all your fantasies need to be a reality, and that you should, like she said, organize your fireflies, organize your thoughts, get your thoughts into order so that this is not a thing that you need to pursue. Yeah. Alright, anyway, I'm talking too much. I returned to my room. Thankfully, it hasn't changed one bit during the minutes I was outside. Without a second thought, I go towards my laptop, yank the power cable out of the outlet. Oh, is she gonna throw it off the balcony? That's it. Oh no, she's unplugging it. That's it. That's it. What are you going to do? What's with this silly question? I'm going to sleep, of course. Well, she took control. She changed her environment as well, because everything was perfect. Everything had its place, and she actually actively changed her environment when she wanted everything to be as it was, and then she actually took action and changed it. Sick psychology? No, it's just personal experience. I'm not a trained psychologist in any way. You get some sleep, of course. Hoping that tomorrow will come after a year or a decade. Hoping that tomorrow will only come after a year or a decade. Does that mean that she wants to have a very large amount of time to be sleeping, and then she'll wake up and it will be tomorrow? Because I feel like that sometimes. I feel like I want to sleep for weeks, and then I wake up and it's only been a few hours. Imagine myself to be outside of my mortal shell, but at the same time still being me. Ridiculous, like milk outside of a bag of milk. And yet, you don't have to talk out loud for me to understand that you're worried about me. See, she's talking because I'm her head, so she's talking to herself right now. Like, you're allowed to be worried for yourself. Which is like a nice sort of concept. Like, because she's treating her inner thoughts as if she was talking to somebody else, like, seemingly talking to a friend. So, treating yourself like another person is sort of a really good way of sort of managing how you approach yourself and how you think. And also trusting what the other person, that is you, is saying. Yeah. Maybe she's thinking about spending years in the mind, but it's actually worth an hour. Yeah, because when you get caught up in your own thinking and you just kind of sit there and you exist in the world, but you're actually like going off on a merry adventure in your head. Usually when you're going through depends on the type of spiral you're going through, but you can go on a fantasy run where you're living a whole new different life in your own head, and then you finally come back to reality and you're stuck in being you again. And I know a lot of people tend to do that. I can't remember what it's called. There's a type of disassociation where you'll daydream. Because I'm a big daydreamer. And when I was a kid, I used to daydream so much. I used to get in trouble for daydreaming all the time. And, and you develop this sort of inner world where you can be the best you. But then you come back to reality and you're you who you were before, and it becomes disappointing, so you go back into the fantasy again because that's more worth it. Yeah. Psychology is worth 10 credits. No, definitely not. I charge per hour, guys. Okay, yeah, I know that already. I also know that our time is running short. It always is. It never feels like there's enough. You won't take another pill. Does she need to? She's already taken her medication. Or is this you won't ever take another pill again? Is that what it means? Of course not. In fact, I won't take it tomorrow either. Yeah. Another day after tomorrow. Never ever. And this is goodbye then. Well, she's gonna lose herself if she does that, I guess. No. I have one more small favour to ask. A really, really small one. What is it? I blurted out way too much today. A lot of stuff that I'd want to forget forever. I don't blame you. But was it really necessary? I think working for your problems is necessary. It might be painful, and it might come across as like incoherent, rambling, irrational crap, but it's good to voice what you're in your head. Because The problem is if you don't have anyone to talk to, all you have is yourself to talk to, like she does. You're not very good at judging things, because you can only judge things from your perspective. You need other perspectives in life. That's the only way you can get through it. You need to talk to somebody else and like have an honest conversation with somebody else. Yeah. Because that's the same way like she's trying to get her thoughts in order, but she's relying on me, as in herself, to get her thoughts in order. And she's either consistently like avoiding things, or she's like going, oh, we'll put that to the side, we'll deal with that later, and then she never actively seems to be dealing with anything because she's just consistently talking to herself. Like, I don't blame you, but was it really necessary? You'll see tomorrow. Thing is, she's not going to be taking her medication anymore. We don't know what's going to happen. Like, she could go back into having panics again. No, I won't be able to sleep like this. Fine. What's the favour? I nervously scratch my wrist and I bite my lower lip. Wait a minute. You're afraid to tell me? You're afraid to tell yourself something. Yes. I'm also scared that something might bad happen if I tell you. An interesting concept. That you would be scared to tell yourself something because you don't know what the outcome might be if you're being honest to yourself. Yeah. Brian is friend. Yes. Treating your Brian like a friend, yeah. That's the sort of the whole point of this game, I think. I'm also scared that when something bad happens, something way worse will happen. Yeah, because she's quite an anxious person. One of my kids is like this. It's called catastrophizing, where you have a scenario in your head and you can't help but see it in the worst possible light. Getting her to imagine the worst possible thing that could ever happen from her idea, and then bring it back down to something that is realistic. So like, okay, so this is the worst thing that could possibly ever happen from what your idea is. Well, what is more likely going to happen? And then we bring it down from there. And then we'll say, or we do the other thing as well. So we catastrophize things and we make things that are apathetic. So like something that would, from your idea, what's something that you would completely just, like, what would be a blank thing that would happen? Like the most littlest thing, the littlest outcome that would ever happen from it. And then we find a middle ground. Because, like, my kids are very anxious, like, neurodivergent kids. So having expectations and planning and things like that is important for them to be able to stay sort of stable. And finding the most likely and realistic outcome makes it easier for them to do things in life. Like, they get anxious about school a lot because they can't handle the unpredictability of it. So we try and go through different scenarios and find the thing that is more realistic, because otherwise you end up being scared all the time. Yeah. Stop. I get it already. Still, I won't leave you alone until you tell me. Bully. You said that before to me. No. You. Okay. He finally goes to sleep. Oh, don't bother her, she's sleeping. Crawling to my sleeping bag, the lower part of my room is very cold. I hurry and wrap myself in blankets, and even though the electric heater is working hard to keep me warm, I'm sad because dreams just won't come anymore. You won't believe me if I tell you how I dealt with it at first. Of course I'll believe you. I know, it was a joke. Well, anyway, I washed my face and brushed my teeth. I lied down and started imagining that I was watching a dream. I didn't sleep at all, of course. I always looked sleepy in the morning. I do this, like when I can't sleep. I close my eyes and lay down and imagine that I'm having a dream to help me try and induce sleep. I go off on this like imaginative sort of idea in my head to try and make my brain want to carry on with it and make me actually go to sleep. It rarely works for me though. But it's something that I try to do, but it doesn't seem to work. After a week of insomnia, I started feeling weird and seeing things. Unsurprising. So that's why she's sleep deprived. That's why she's seeing things. Okay. Letters floated in the air, strange silhouettes that appeared in the most unexpected places, bulging eyes with trembling pale pupils. It was scary, and that is absolutely terrifying if you was seeing that. Then one day I almost died. I just collapsed in the middle of the room and I couldn't move for a while. And then the silhouettes, the letters and the eyes were hanging over me and hissing. It was horrible. And well deserved, I guess. It's not your fault you can't sleep. I felt like I was caught in the biggest lie in the world. Yes, it felt exactly like that. I'm assuming the reason why she can't sleep is because of what happened with the guy on the internet. So she feels like, well, the reason I can't sleep is because it's something that's my fault. I should have known about the internet friend. After that, I stopped. But the silhouettes and letters and eyes stayed here. I guess they're just like this place. They always follow me in my wake, peeping at me. I'm kinda scared of them, but I can't even argue with them. But today, well, fantasy doesn't cooperate when you're trying from staying awake. Still too scared to tell me. Of course. They're still listening, you know? Use your hands. Alright. I start chaotically twirling my fingers with enthusiasm, forming complex shapes. Yeah. I used to do this as a kid. I used to like try and imagine there was like a light on my finger and I would draw on the ceiling. You want me to tell you a bedtime story? Shh. I was trying hard there, but you get it? They'll hear you. Relax, nobody can hear you. So what do you say? I'd be happy to, but I have no idea how to tell them. It's incredibly easy to talk about something without stopping. That's what Sick does for me. He'll play games and talk, or I'll listen to a game, just talking, consistently talking. Or he'll go on a rambling thing about some sort of new graphics card thing or something, and it'll eventually put me to sleep. Just having something else to listen to, so I don't have to listen to my own thoughts. But it's not. And meaningless. And you don't know what you're talking about. I know enough to realise that, well, just to end up wasting time. Let's focus on something actually important. Boring. Fine. Close your eyes. Okay? You won't get it. You're not even trying. Oh god. I wake up on a wooden bench. In front of me lies a narrow, dimly lit alley, an awfully familiar road. Where could I have seen it? Finally. I hear a voice coming from the side. I turn around and see a boy with a weird expression on his face. He's having a weird head story right now. You're late. Alright, she's imagining meeting the boy. Who are you? The boy blinks in bewilderment. You're not going anywhere like this. Try again. We're not going anywhere like this. Try again. And he takes a very deep breath. You are late. I stare at him, confused. He stares back, also confused. Sorry? The boy nods satisfied. See? Much better. Okay. Do you have a name? My name's... Kreska? I'll give the brat an evaluating look. He's so young, yet already coming at me with questions like that. None of your business. And besides, will anyone tell me what I'm doing here? Hey, that's rude. It's not like there's someone else here beside me. Besides me. Haven't they told you anything? I know that all there is to know, for one. About what? You're obliged to escort me to the store. Huh. Okay. Second, Brian? Yeah, maybe. This is, so, like, they had me, who sort of, like, judgmental but trying to be kind approach in her head. This one just seems to be a bit of a dick. Maybe this is her, like, real intrusive thoughts. Kreska says that and strikes a victory pose. You're supposed to take me to the store. No way I'm doing that. Do you understand that refusal is futile? Well, aren't you full of yourself? I'm serious. You're not the one who decided that. Do you think I'm delighted with your company? He's weird, constantly shifting between happiness, sadness, loudness, silence. He's a wacko. And his name is stupid. Are we going or what? Can you go? And I need to think. I'll be happy to, but I don't know the way. Kreska puts a cunning smile. I bite my lower lip in frustration. I'll be honest with you, I don't like you. He simply bursts out laughing in reply. Well, I do like you, though. And he grabs my hand without hesitation. I don't even have time to retort. Lead the way. Eh? Our trip to the store went fine, if not for the fact that Kreska was walking way faster than me. On the other hand, at times he stopped abruptly and went backwards, studying the ground underneath his feet. In the end, the trip took a lot longer than it should. Yeah, this is her going to the store with having the taking carrying bringing a friend along with you who is just the most difficult companion. Yeah. That's it. 20 something. After reaching the store's doors, we are greeted by a sign. Is that Russian? I can't tell. We're closing in 20 minutes. Who had this bright idea to indicate their working hours in this way? They probably have special staff for this. Someone who runs to change the sign every 5 minutes is convenient. Are you joking? Yeah. It's so annoying. So much better at being boring. How old are you, by the way? None of your business. Ah. And what's your name? None of your business. I was ready to slap the living hell out of the brat, but the scary-looking man suddenly appeared behind the glass. He was holding a cardboard sign that says we're closing in 15 minutes. Let's go. What are you waiting for? Oh yeah. Okay, we're back in the store again. After another round of going across a long row of canned products, we realise that we're lost. I can't believe you don't know where they sell milk. Maybe we should ask somebody for directions. Sure. Hey, wait up. Kreska, lets go of my hand and walks confidently towards one of the few store customers. The person is standing in front with their back to us, studying something on the shelf. Hello, can I can't hear neither the second part of his question, nor the reply he gets, but my good-for-nothing friend freezes in place, looking at the customer straight in the eye, and I hurry towards them. So she's like imagining herself as like a confident person then. Because before, in the beginning, when we did the first episode, it was like she was... This is the type of thing that she was reliving out. Obviously, her friend, the inconvenient one, the one who takes too long to get the store, the one who's like really abrupt and obnoxious, and then gets put in front of somebody, and he's like, oh, we can just go and ask somebody, and then he can't, and then he loses the words, so she has to step in. And she's like imagining herself without anxiety. Is he yours? The customer talks to me. He speaks with disgust while wearing a scornful expression. If he's yours, please get him away from me. Yes, I'm sorry. I grab Treska's hand and lead him away. He's still looking at the customer, his mouth ajar, his eyes popped. He's also shaking. Only when we turn the corner, Treska calms down. Yeah, it's just, I think it's a manifestation of her anxiety in a person. He says jerk to her confident version after. Yeah. What was that? I got so scared, he said. What? No, not again. Suddenly, Treska starts screaming like crazy. I cover his mouth with my hand. His face is burning, he's crying. Can you act normal? I mean, he's panicked. No, you don't understand. Of course I don't. I don't understand anything. Annoying other people is still wrong, though. This is something that you don't understand, it seems. Yeah, not understanding that you're not, like, she feels like every time she panics, she's, like, doing it on purpose. And that she's an inconvenience to other people. But that's just not true. You can't help when anxiety kicks in. Because it's not really a conscious sort of state of mind. It's a subconscious thing that senses a threat, and you can't help what your brain thinks is a threat. So, yeah. You mean, sniff. Who, me? Kreska pushes away and runs off. Drat. At the edge of my vision, I can see the store's staff hang a new sign on the door. There you are. I met Treska at the cash register. Before that, I managed to visit the milk department after finding out where it was. Hey you, move. I hear an angry voice coming from the other side of a long queue it has formed after Treska. I squeeze through towards him. What happened? The boy doesn't respond. He just looks at his feet and sniffs. The cashier towers over him. There's a bag of milk lying between them. Is he yours? Yes. Just leave him home next time. Oh god, that horrible thing to say. People in the queue nod in agreement. Pay for the goods, please. Yes, of course. And the waiting fee? Excuse me? Yep. What? You heard me. I did, but that's unheard of. Kreska starts giggling all of a sudden. And for the fact that your son is a... I'm not saying that too. But... you heard me. You know what? In a fit of rage, I threw a banknote at the cashier, of a much higher value than needed, even counting in all the stupid fees, then grabbed the bag of milk and turned around on my heels. We're leaving, Treshka. Yeah, he was smirking as well. It's like he wants her to... He like wants to be upset. I can't tell if it's a nervous smile or if he's put... Because in her mind, her anxiety is doing it on purpose to be an inconvenience to people. So maybe he's smirking because anxiety is working. It's annoying, you know, it's causing an inconvenience. We spent the whole trip back in silence. At some point we end up turning right towards the gas station. There Treska finally breaks his silence. Do you like ice cream? No. Okay. I look at the boy's face. A light flickers in his eyes for a brief moment and then it goes out. You know? He turns away from the path and walks straight towards the highway with determination. I stare at his back, confused. Okay, that's creepy. It seems like you're not helping me at all. A new playful light flickers in Treska's eyes. Oh. You're awake? She actually... Oh, did she dream this? His face in the abyss. Yeah. Milk outside of a bag of milk outside of a bag of milk. A game by Nikita Kryukov? Yeah, that was good. Definitely interesting. Especially seeing how, like, treating yourself as a friend, treating a part of yourself as a friend when you're dealing with your issues, as well as, like, treating, like the way she was she separated her anxiety from herself and treated it like a person. I don't agree with, like, obviously it's just her perception, but I don't agree with the idea that her anxiety is doing it on purpose to be an inconvenience. Because anxiety doesn't work like that. It's trying to protect you, but it's just misfiring at certain things. Like, it's seeing things that are not really threats as threats. It's not really your fault that it does that, but it just does it. But yeah. She finally was looking up at the abyss. It's like, actually... Yeah. I think that's why she woke up like she was crying, is because she finally, like, had an emotional release. To realise, like... Yeah. That her anxiety is separate from her. Like, and it's not, even though it is a part of her, it's not something that, it's like it's another person. It's not something that she can really control. All she can do is sort of navigate it. The hell is inside your mind? The hell is in a virtual boy? Yeah. That was really enjoyable. I liked that. Yeah. Both of the games are kind of, like, I'm assuming if you make because the multiple choice thing is where it comes in when you choose different things to say to her. Like, I tried to be, like, as nice as possible to her, but I'm assuming you could be a lot more aggressive with her and you might get, like, a different approach. And maybe that'll result in a different ending. I don't know. But yeah, that was an interesting game. Like, so tomorrow, I just wanted a little break away from the challenging games that I usually play. Something a bit. Otherwise, I always wanted to play this, so I never actually would have got round to playing it. So, kind of ending was that. It's an ambiguous ending. That's what it is. Just like mental health. It was a brat ending. Yeah. So tomorrow we are going to be playing Lies of P. Sorry, yeah, it's very short. It was only supposed to be like 3. You could go back and play again and do like other like getting more options with the talking. But I think it's fine. I think the choices I made are the ones that I would have made normally anyway. So Animal Crossing. We'll play Animal Crossing next. Yeah. we're doing Pinocchio tomorrow. Yes. So yeah. I just wanted something a little bit different. Otherwise, I'd never get around to playing this. But yeah, it was just a little bit of an in between thing. Yeah. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. It was made me think about how to approach my own mental health in a way, like seeing myself as two separate people and treating it like it is another person and not just me in my head. Yeah, very good. But yeah, I'm gonna. So it's pretty much gonna be ending a little bit earlier today. I assume then. I guess we could hang out for a little bit longer, but I don't really know what to talk about apart from Lies of P. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go. But yeah, thank you for turning up, and yeah, tomorrow back normal time. We're gonna be doing Lies of P, and I know barely anything about it. I think that the stuff that I watched was sick. I can barely remember. I know it's something to do with like mechanical puppets or something, and I know that you have to parry a lot. But that's about it. So yeah, we'll doing that tomorrow. But thank you for turning up, guys. I appreciate it. And I'll see you all tomorrow for P time. Yeah. Goodbye. Hope you have a good rest of your day. See you later.